Was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. Hi there, welcome. This is Alpha Male 2.0. I am Caleb Jones. Freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. Location-independent income. Your own location-independent business. Dating multiple, not one, that's stupid. Dating multiple attractive women long-term with no lying, cheating, or drama. The freest lifestyle a man can possibly live in the collapsing era in which we find ourselves. And no, Trump can't fix it. In a few minutes, today I'll bring up, actually, can I do this? Share screen, present. We are going to talk today about a very important topic that was suggested by you guys. This is something you guys asked me to talk about, and it's something that I haven't talked about publicly, I don't think ever. I'm shocked. I had a chapter in one of my old books about this, and I removed that chapter when I redid the book. But this is how to, those of you who are legally married and live with a woman, or you live in a live-in monogamous relationship because you were stupid and got one-itis and didn't take my advice, or when you hooked up and moved in this woman, you didn't know my content back then. How to move out from your girlfriend or wife, how to get divorced safely. 19 steps on exactly how to do this, and I'll get more to that in a few minutes. I need your help. I'm going to play some video here, and I want you to tell me in the chat if you can hear it. The next live stream we do, I'm going to have lots of video clips to show you guys for guys who've been through our Business Builder program and have made a lot of money with it. So I'm going to show you those clips next week, and they'll talk about exactly how they did it and all that good stuff. But I've had trouble here in StreamYard with you hearing the audio of videos I play in StreamYard. So what I'm going to do here is, you guys please just stop. Okay. Get ready. I'm going to play a few seconds of Yellowstone, just a few seconds because I'll get copyright strike. I want you to tell me if you can hear Kevin Costner clearly, just as here as you can clear me. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
That's not what you were thinking.
That's what I'm thinking about now.
Okay, did you hear that perfectly? Or could you not hear that? Or was the volume too low? Let me know in the chat. I will wait. And I can do it again if you need me to. And then I have another clip of video I'm going to test with that. If that didn't, yes, I see one yes. I need to see more than one yes. Clear. Clear? Okay. I'm going to do something else here. Let's see. I'm going to do another one, another video. I'm glad you guys can hear that. Great. All right. Hang on a moment. Okay. Share, add to stage. Okay. Hang on. Studio. Okay. Tell me if you can hear this video clearly. Here we go. Okay. Did you guys hear that perfectly? Let me know if you hear that perfectly. That woman speaking. And I'll wait. No, you didn't hear that one. Interesting. All right. No video for the YouTube vid, but you heard the Kevin Costner video. All right. I'm going to try one more thing. I had a feeling that would happen. Okay. And I'm going to play her again. Okay. No sound. All right. Here we go again. I'm going to do this again. This is with a different browser. Hang on. Actually, before I do that, let me say share audio. All right, here we go again. 1, 2, 3.
The invention of the pill and also the decriminalisation of abortion, which happened soon after, would have produced more illegitimacy. That's really weird, right?
Okay, did you hear her just now? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. And then that'll give me the information I need. And I will wait. And then we'll get to our topic. You can hear, but it's not very clear. Fascinating. Barely. Okay. Sounds bad. All right. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you. That means I have to upload it. So StreamYard wants audio, video files, not YouTube stuff I play with a browser. Interesting. All right. Great. Well, that answers my question then. Thank you. Thank you. If any of you know how to get StreamYard to play fucking YouTube videos where people can hear them, let me know. I don't know how to do it. I've looked it up. But I can convert what I need to video file, so that's not bad. All right. Cool beans. All right. Thank you for your assistance. That was great. Okay. I'll answer a few questions before we get to our topic on how to get divorced and or move out from your live-in monogamous girlfriend or live-in monogamous wife. Are there hot white women in Dubai? Bro, that's all that you see in Dubai are hot white women. Are you kidding? That's who's there. Yes. Yes, and I'm in Paraguay right now, but I love my Dubai a lot for a lot of reasons, including that one, but I'm very happy here too for other reasons. There are hot women here, but they're not hot. They're cute. Paraguayan women are little, tiny. They're short, which I like. They're flat-chested, which I don't like, but they have huge asses. Huge and beautiful and perfect. Not huge because they're fat. Every girl here, every woman here has a big ass that pops out. Even little skinny girls have a big... It's good. Yes, they are white Latinas in Paraguay. Half of Paraguay is white. Half of Paraguay is the darker skin like Mexicans. So half the women here are white, but they're white. Let me tell you something. Now I'll tell you something, okay? Before we get started. This is a secret from a man who has had lots of sex with a lot of women all around the world for 17 years, okay? Secret. No one knows this. All right, so just you and me. Don't tell anybody this. This is just you and me, okay? Here's the secret. I'm being somewhat facetious, but kind of not. Here it is. Ready? The best thing in life is a blonde, white Latina. You are combining all the best aspects of all worlds into one woman. White skin, blonde hair, Latina. Yeah. I mean, a lot of you guys are into Russian girls. Great. Russian women are hot. Yes. They're smart. Yes. I wrote an entire article about why I don't date Russian women anymore because they're nightmares. Okay. Telling you, white blonde Latinas. 3 different women in Paraguay since I've been coming here since 2018. We'll have this conversation. And she'll show me like a picture of when she used to have blonde hair like a long time ago because there's not a lot of blonde women here in Paraguay. I'll say, "Oh, you were hot when you were blonde." She goes, "Yeah, I want to get my hair done again." Do it. She's like, "I can't afford it because the average person in Paraguay makes like $300 a month, and going to the salon to get blonde hair is like $150. It's like half your income for the month. They can't afford it." So 3 different times, women I've said, "Okay, how much? How much would it cost to get you blonde hair? How much?" I don't know. Call the salon and let me know. I'm like, "Oh, it'll be 1 million guaranis, which is like $113. I'm like, "I'll pay for it. Set the appointment." Best money you'll ever spend. Now, I'm being slightly funny. A lot of guys are into the darker skin Latina girls. That's what they like the Colombian women with the darker skin. Great. I'm being funny. I'm just, for me. Yeah, okay. Do you turn off all lights 2 hours before you go to bed to ensure a good sleep? Most lights, yes. The only light I have are amber light, and then all of my devices turn off all the blue. So yeah. For some reason, my account was banned on Tinder as a way to get it back, or is that final? I don't know how it works now. I know how it worked a few years ago. I don't know. It's probably final. Just make a new account. And don't get any no sex talk on dating apps. Maybe you said something sexual. May detect on my macro swiping as a bot. Oh, that's also true. You can't overdo that. You do your macro swiping for a while, then stop, wait a few days and do it again. That's probably what did it, yes. Is it better to wait to pay off your debts before proceeding with the divorce, or just cut ties immediately and deal with it sooner? Cut ties immediately, because she may be liable for some of the debts if you're legally married. When did liberals start demonizing hookup culture and casual sex at the same rate as conservatives? Yeah. I remember a time when conservatives were the main ones demonizing it. I could be wrong. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. When you go so far left or so far right, they meet and they become the same thing. So when you go super far left, sex is bad. Not appropriate. It's against women. Did you know in movies, I've mentioned this, modern day movies, there's no kissing anymore, with rare exception. Men don't kiss women in movies anymore. You know what they do? Start paying attention to this, because I've seen this many times in many shitty movies. I don't watch a lot of movies now, but I want to watch clips and stuff. What they do is they touch foreheads. So if a man and woman, they'll touch foreheads like this. They don't kiss. That's against women. Yeah. So if you're a far left-winger, sex is bad. If you're a far right-winger, sex is bad. Yeah. If you're a far left-winger, you're an authoritarian. If you're a far right Trump idiot, you're an authoritarian. They all meet. It's not a line. It's a donut. Yeah, correct. I think we could agree that white, blonde, Hispanic with a fat ass. Yes. Big ass. I like big asses. Bigger the better. And in Paraguay, if you like big asses, come to Paraguay, you'll be like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? You'll miss it when you go back to the United States or UK where everyone has flat asses. And every once in a while, once every month, you see a girl with a big ass. White girl. Now, I go back to Dubai, so I'm spoiled either way, but that's my life. I designed it that way. I'm mono with my girlfriend. That's a problem. She's great, not relevant, so probably OLTR. She's not an OLTR if you're a mono. She's an LTR, which you should not be doing. So I guess straight to the Queen of the Hilt. No, what you need to do is get my course, how to convert a monogamous relationship to an open relationship. That's what you need. You need to do a conversion, not the talk. She'll just scream at you if you say that. So no, you already fucked up, so you have to convert, and it may not work. All right, let's get to our topic here. Now play the sound of a yak. All right, sure. All right. So this is the first in a two-part series that I'm going to do here at Alpha Male 2.0. The second part of the series will talk about how to behave the first year after a divorce or monogamous cohabiting breakup, which is pretty much the same as divorce emotionally. I will touch on it in this podcast, but in this podcast, I'm going to go through the 19 steps you need to follow. This only applies to you if you currently live with a woman and you're monogamous. So a lot of you can just there's bits and pieces you can pull from this. And this will also show you how dangerous it is to move in with a woman. You should not move in with a woman until you're 35 years old, and you should still be non-monogamous. B, to get traditionally monogamously married or legally married to any woman in the Western era. So those of you who are not legally married, this will be a helpful wake-up call to stay not legally married, because you'll see the chaos that men go through when they have to get divorced. There's a decent percentage of you in my audience, I know who you are, who are currently living with a monogamous girlfriend or are married to a monogamous wife. This is for you. There's a lot of you in my audience. There's a lot of you. And that's okay. I was there. Those of you who don't know, I was traditionally monogamously married for 9 years. I got married when I was a stupid young beta male 10,000 years ago in the 90s, when I was in my mid-20s, because I was stupid. And I was married for 9 years and had to go through a divorce, and it was not fun. Now, it was a much better divorce than the vast majority of men do, because I followed these 19 steps. So if you follow these 19 steps, this will create a divorce or a living together breakup that is easier with less drama and bullshit. One of the reasons that men, it's not a reason. I've talked about statistically 70 to 80% of all marriages, 70 to 80% of all divorces are initiated by the wife, the woman. 3/4 of all girlfriend-boyfriend relationships are terminated by the woman. Statistically, women leave men. Men don't leave women. Men are needy and they're pussies and they get one-itis. Now, men cheat on women. They do that a lot, but they don't leave. Some of them do. I left my ex-wife. I was one of the statistical anomalies. So you need to do this. And the challenge is when men do break up, it's a mess because they don't know what the hell they're doing. When women break up with men, it tends to be a little cleaner because women kind of know what they're doing. When it comes to breaking up with people, men don't know how to do it. So this is how to do it. So this is for those of you who are married or have a live-in monogamous girlfriend, which to me is the same thing as being married because you're living the lifestyle of a married man. You may not be legally married. And this is with or without kids. This is both these things. Okay? Rule number 1 for when you move out and or get divorced. This is for those of you who are on the fence. Oh, I don't want to leave. I'm scared. I'll never see my kids and blah, 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 blah. But I hate my life and I hate my marriage and I wish I could fuck girls like Caleb. Okay, listen. 100% of the pain you experience during a divorce, and I'll use the word divorce even though you are breaking up from a monogamous girlfriend you're not legally married to. To use that term, it's the same thing. 100% of the pain you will experience, and you will experience some pain, yes, is 100% worth the reward you will experience for the rest of your life. You're going to go through a few months of pain, and you're going to be fucking happy as fuck for the next 50 years. Is that a good ROI? 2, 3, 4, 5 months of pain for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of happiness? I think so. Do it. Just do it. The pain of a divorce is temporary. Men think that if they go through a divorce, their lives are over, because that's why men don't get divorced. Women divorce them. I've said this many times, and many of you have reported the same thing. When I got divorced way back in 2007, once the pain was over, it's like 3 months. I was the happiest I had ever been in my entire life up until that point. Now, I've been happier since then. Alpha Male 2.0 is awesome. But I was literally, I remember this moment, driving around in my car, and I just started laughing because this weight, these boulders were off my shoulders. And now my whole life was mine. I was so happy. I can't describe the feeling of how happy I was. And so many of you have told me the exact same thing. When you get divorced, you go through the pain, and you're like, oh my God, I am so happy. I can't believe this. Why didn't I do this a long time ago? So it's worth it. Rule number 2, the goal, you fucking morons. This is where men fuck this up. And they turn into Andrew Tate. The goal is to get divorced with the minimum amount of drama from the wife or ex-girlfriend. Minimum amount of drama. Minimum amount of screaming and yelling. Minimum amount of arguments, including over the phone, you idiots. Arguments about the kids and arguments about the alimony and arguments, well, you're going to pick her up at 20. Alpha Male 2.0 is about long-term consistent happiness. It's about the minimum amount of drama, because you cannot experience drama and happiness at the same time. If you're having drama all the time, you can't be happy. You can't experience one without the other. Okay, you can't. I'm sorry. I don't care how Hispanic you are. You can't experience drama and be happy at the same time. Okay? I know some of you Hispanic guys are going to challenge me on that because you like the drama. I'm still right about this. So again, the objective here is not just to make the break and live a free life. The objective here is during the break and during this transition, the minimum amount of drama. Men fuck this up. Most guys, when they go through breakups, they leave a woman. It is drama nightmare, sometimes for a year or two straight. And they get heart attacks and ulcers, and it's awful. They destroy their careers because of all the goddamn drama, and it's the man's fault. Men don't realize that when an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend is screaming out the phone, they can just click hang up. I did it before. I've done it before. Men don't realize they can block their ex-wife or ex-girlfriend on their texts. You can block her number. What? Yes, you can. But what if yes, you can. Deep breaths, relax, get some balls, and be a man. Okay? We'll go through the specific details, these 19 steps. Step 1, we have 19 steps. This is how to do it. So you are living with your wife, monogamous wife probably, and or living with your full-time monogamous girlfriend, most likely monogamous. Maybe you're cheating. Okay, you're a guy, so maybe you're cheating, maybe you're not. But you're living with her, you want to leave and live a free life and be happy. Okay? Step 1. Here's how to do this. Okay? This is mental. Expect the best, but emotionally prepare for the worst. Expect the best, but prepare emotionally for the worst, which is exactly how you need to look at this. So what you should do is you make a written list of the worst things you think are going to happen if you make this change. Okay? Now, these are the worst things that you think are going to happen in the real world, not in your imagination. So here's what some guys do. They'll say, well, if I get divorced, I'll never see my kids again. Wrong. If you live in the Western world, there are laws preventing this. You have rights as a father. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Now, if you live a crazy, weird international lifestyle, we have kids all over the world, that's different. But 99.9% you don't have that. 99% of you who are living with a woman, you live in a Western country, you got kids. She can't just take your kids away. She'll be thrown in jail if she does this. Okay, so yes, you'll see your kids. Or, well, she'll take a knife and stab me and I'll die. That's not going to happen. You're insane. What is the worst that will happen in the real world? So things like, I'll only be able to see my kids 3 days a week. And that'll suck. That'll be horrible for me. Yeah, okay. Write that down. I'll lose thousands of dollars. Yes, that'll probably happen if you're legally married. Write that down. Not, I'll lose my business. You're not going to lose your business. You'll lose a lot of money. You might lose some money. You're not going to lose your business. I didn't lose my business when I got divorced. I didn't lose my business. Okay, so write down the bad things that are bad, but things that can actually happen in the real world, not in your wildest, insane bullshit fantasies. Then what you do is you look at that list and you commit to yourself to push through those things and suffer through those things temporarily to get to the gold on the other side of the mountain. To get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Because you're going to get that pot of gold. Trust me, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. If you're following my models, there are hundreds, if not thousands of men, probably actually thousands of men, who send me their email stuff like, I was in this horrible marriage or I broke up. Now I have 2 MLTRs and 2 FBs. I'm traveling. You're going to get there. But you have to go through the pain and commit to go through that pain. Instead of saying, well, if I lose any money, then I can't get divorced. Well, then you're being a beta male pussy and you deserve the pain you're experiencing. Next one, step 2, another mental step. You need to steel yourself, S-T-E-E-L, steel yourself, like Colossus on X-Men. Turn into a man of steel, okay? And commit to yourself. You need to make a commitment to yourself. Success in life in all 3 areas. Money, which I'm good at, women, which I'm good at, and physical fitness, which I'm good at. All 3 of those things are committing to yourself, loving yourself. I don't mean to sound like Richard Simmons, but it's true. How the brain works. Commit to yourself. This is going to be hard. This is why most men don't do this. Most men wait till their wives leave them and their girlfriends leave them. Why? Because men are pussies. They don't want to go through the pain. You can't be a pussy. You need to man up, steel yourself, get ready emotionally. This is going to be hard, but you can do it and you will get through it. The Alpha Male 2.0 community is full of men who are total pussy AFC punk ass beta males who did leave their wives, who did get divorced, who left their live-in girlfriends and are now living the fucking life. There's thousands of these guys. I've spoken to several of them recently. You can do this, but you have to commit to yourself. Commit emotionally. If you can, and I realize sometimes you can't, but if you have a close friend, that's the most dangerous one. You want to keep this a secret, but if you have a close friend or better, a coach or a therapist who you can work with through this process, that will help a lot. Who's experienced with men going through divorces or big breakups, okay, that will help a lot. I've coached men through this myself many times. Okay? They will help. If you are able to do that, if you can afford to do that, and a therapist or coach is much better than a friend, because often a friend can't relate, and sometimes a friend will spill the beans and tell everybody. Okay? Okay. Step 3. Here's the first of the logistical steps involved. Call a truce mentally with your wife. From the rest of this presentation, I'm going to call her your wife, even if she is not legally married to you, and she's your live-in long-term monogamous girlfriend. That's, quote, your wife, in quotes. So I'm going to call her your wife, okay? If you are currently having lots of drama and arguments with your wife, which you probably are, because you have a monogamous live-in relationship, that's how this shit works, stop. Just stop arguing with her. By the way, I did all this when I went through my divorce. And I've coached a lot of guys through this, some of you have done this. You know how well this works. Stop arguing. When you begin the process of getting a divorce and leaving, no more arguing. Just, you need the mental energy somewhere else. This is just going to distract you. Okay? Stop arguing. Just stop. Yes, just stop. Start doing whatever she asks. If she wants you to start doing blah, blah around the house, pretend to be a pussy beta, go, okay, and just do it. Don't argue with her. In a few weeks, you're going to be out of the house and you'll be a free man. But for right now, next few weeks, pretend to be the nicest, most submissive pussy husband in the universe. Just agree with everything. Yes, I'm dumb. Yes, I'm an asshole. You're right. I fucked that up. You're right. It's all my fault. Yes, sweetheart. I'll go mow the lawn right now. Yes, I'll watch the kid. Yes. Just pretend to do that for the next few weeks. Not forever. You're leaving her. But for the next few weeks, you don't want to dick with her drama while you're doing all this other stuff. Plus, again, I said, what's the objective? The least amount of drama. Okay? If she argues, just nod your head. Don't argue with her. Just nod your head. Agree. Yeah. You don't respect me. You're just an asshole. Yeah, I'm kind of mean. Yeah. You're so fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm not that smart. Yeah. You're a terrible father. Yeah, I'm not a very good dad. Yeah. Because now, here's the thing. Your wife knows your buttons, right? You've lived there for 6 years or 13 years or 7 years. She knows exactly what buttons to push to piss you off. No matter what buttons she pushes, you go, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm a terrible father. Yep. Good. Yep. Don't say, hey, what the fuck? You're going to want to do this. You're going to want to be Andrew Tate and yell and scream back and have all those problems and drama and bullshit. Don't do that. Control yourself. Just for a few weeks, man. This is going to be all over in a few weeks. Pretend to be an actor. Pretend to be Jack Nicholson. Act the part. And act the part of Miss Pussy, beta male, pussy. And she's right about everything. And you're just going to go, yeah. Keep doing this until you're moved out, which you're going to be soon. So just do this. It'll be worth it. Step 4. You need to go down to a bank where you do not do any banking. You've never banked before. And a bank where your wife has never banked before, and open up a safety deposit box. I recommend against safety deposit boxes long-term in the Western world, but this is not going to be long-term. This is temporary. You're going to need to do this. A safety deposit, a small one is all you need. You don't need a big one. You get a big one if you want. Open a safety deposit box. Again, I'm going to say this again. At a bank, you've never done banking before in your entire life, and she's never banked before in her entire life. Completely outside of your life. Open a safety deposit box and get those keys. Okay? Do not tell anyone you are doing this. The only exception to this, when I say don't tell anybody, because I'm going to keep saying that over, is if you're working with a divorce attorney right now. You can tell him. Other than that, you don't tell anybody. You don't tell your best friend. You don't tell your family members. You don't tell your mom and your dad. You don't tell anybody. The more people you tell, the higher odds someone will tell someone and your wife will find out. And now you've got a big fucking problem on your hands. Okay? Don't tell anybody. Control yourself, you pussy. Step 5. Stash cash. You need a number between, I'm assuming the typical guy in the typical Western country, okay? If you're not in a Western country, you'll need to change these things. The typical average guy in the typical Western country, you want between $3,000 and $6,000 in cash in this safety deposit box. I don't have that money. I'll cover that in a second, okay? Now, the more the better. The more the better. 6,000 is better than 3. This is really based on your income. If you make a lot of money, you live in a very expensive city, you might need more than 6,000. So really, you could gauge this based on, you need to pick a number, an objective of how much money you need in that safety deposit box. That number should be between $3,000 and $6,000, okay? You determine what that number is. Pick a number and that's your goal. The more, the better. 10,000 is great. Now, you may not need 10,000 unless now if you live in downtown London, you might need $10,000. Okay? Pick a number. And we'll kill what's number based on. When I go through the other 19 steps, you'll understand. But you need to pick a number, and that's the objective. Okay? Get that money in that safety deposit box as fast as you can without arousing too much suspicion. So if you've got that money in a savings account that your wife doesn't have her name on, great. Pull it out of there and put it in that safety deposit box. Cash. $100 bills. Cash. Cash. Because you're going to be Mr. Cash for a little bit because you don't want a paper trail. All right? If you have precious metals like I did when I was getting divorced, you could sell some of those. Okay, Bitcoin, whatever you can do. Okay. The only rule here is if your wife will see it. If it's a joint account and you take 6,000 out and she sees these numbers every month, some of you are married to women who like monitor the finances very carefully. Some of you are women who don't care. Okay, then don't do that. If she's going to see it, don't do it. Don't do it. If you literally don't have that cash, and you might not, okay, fine. then get as creative as you can. Borrow it from someone. Borrow it from a friend or family member. Do not tell them what you are doing. Say, look, I love you. I can't tell you what I'm doing with this money. I'll get this money back to you in a year or 6 months or whatever. I just need it now. I can't tell you what I'm doing. I can tell you what I'm doing in a few months. Trust me. If they say fuck you, then fine. Okay? Do whatever you can to get the money in there as fast as you can. If you still can't put that amount in there, here's what you do. Step 6, you keep stashing cash. Every month, whenever you get some income, take a hunk of it and throw it in that safety deposit box. Just take it as cash and throw it in there and just keep piling up cash in that safety deposit box far away from your wife. Cash. There's no paper trail of cash. It's a beauty of cash. Okay. Keep throwing money in there every month until you achieve your goal number. Then you can take the next step. Okay. I did this. Don't tell anybody you're doing this. And this is, again, while you're being Mr. Nice, submissive beta male to your wife. You're saying, I'm a terrible husband, and yeah, I'm dumb. Just suck it up. It'll be over soon. I keep repeating this. Don't tell them when you're doing this. Be a ninja. Step 7. Next thing you need to do is locate a cheap apartment. Okay, because you're going to move out. Now, let me address something before I go on. Some alpha male 1.0 guys or wannabe beta male tough guys say, I shouldn't have to move out. It's my house. She's going to fucking move out. That's not going to happen. If you live in a Western country, the laws favor her. You can't kick her out. That's not, if she doesn't want to leave, she's not going to leave. What are you going to do? Physically pick her up and throw her out of the house while she's scratching you and punching you? Great. Then she calls the cops and says you beat her up, and then you go to jail. When you live with a woman in the Western world, legally she has the power, not you, because she's a girl. We live in a collapsing left-wing era. So you can fantasize all you want about being a tough guy and kicking her out of your house, and, well, my name's in the house and not her name, and I'm not leaving my fuck. You're going to get some guys, some of you might be with this attitude of, I shouldn't have to move out of my house. That's beta shit. I agree, it is beta shit. Living with a woman when you're monogamous is beta shit. You've already crossed the beta line a long time ago, pal. We're trying to fix that problem. Okay? Again, this is temporary. You're not going to live in a little apartment. She lives in the big house for the rest of your life. It's going to be for a little while, and then she'll fucking leave. Okay? She's not going to, let's say you do live in a nice fancy house and you want to live in a little apartment and she's living in the nice house. Is she going to pay for that fancy house? No, she'll have to sell it, or you'll have to sell it, and then she'll leave. And then you do whatever the fuck you want. This is temporary. Stop being, stop trying to be a tough guy about this. In the real world, now, if you live outside the Western world, then yes, you could probably just pick her up and throw her out on the lawn. If you live in Colombia or Paraguay or Cambodia, you could probably just pick her ass up and throw her out on the lawn and lock the doors. You can't do that in United States, Canada, Western Europe, Australia. You can't do that. You'll go to jail. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave. Plus, not to mention, what's the objective here? The least amount of drama. Good luck trying to get your wife who hates you to leave her house, and her kid. Good fucking luck doing that with no drama. It's insane. So, understand? Okay. How about putting her in the cheap apartment? What I just said. How are you going to get her to, look, you live in this beautiful house. You're getting the fuck out of here, bitch, and you're going to go to this little apartment. Fuck you. I'm not going anywhere. What are you going to do? You going to punch her? What are you going to do? You're fucked. So no, this is all fantasy in the Western world. Let me repeat this. You already made the mistake by moving in with a woman under a monogamous arrangement. The mistake is something you already made many years ago. Triple that if you legally married her with no prenuptial agreement. You already fucked this up. There are no easy ways out. These are all difficult ways out, and then you'll be fine. Again, it's temporary. Calm down your inner Andrew Tate like you need to be a tough guy, because that's not going to work unless you like drama. And I've said 10,000 times, if you like drama, if you like screaming at women, if that's something you find enjoyable, I don't know why you're listening to any of my, I don't know why you're here. You go watch Andrew Tate, not me. Don't watch me. You'll hate me. All right. So step 7, you need to locate a cheap apartment. What you do is go on whatever websites you need to, locate a cheap studio or 1-bedroom apartment in your local area. Somewhere safe and clean, but cheap, because you might be maintaining 2 households for a while, especially if she's a stay-at-home mom. Okay? Cheap but nice. Cheap but safe. Not a shithole. But not, you don't want, oh, I want a 3-bedroom apartment. Now, if you have a lot of money, you can violate these. If you have a lot of money, then do whatever you want. Most of you don't, especially if you're traditionally monogamous married. You have very little money because the wife sucks all up. It should not be located just down the street. Some guys make that mistake. They just get an apartment like 3 minutes away from the house. So they're currently, no. You don't want her to be able to just go to your apartment anytime she wants. That's too close. Okay. No, you want it within 20 to 45 minutes away. Now, you don't want it 3 hours away either. I've seen some oddballs do this. They move 2.5 hours away and they've got kids. What the fuck are you doing? So now I guess if you have no kids, you can do longer. That's fine. So within 20 to 45 minutes drive where you currently live. In the local area, but not right down the street. Side point, that is also the rule when you date women. You don't want an OLTR, MLTR you don't live with to live in the same apartment building as you. That's insanity. Or like 5 minutes down the street where she can just walk your, you don't want that. You want her 10, 15, 20 minutes away. Because then she'll start coming over all the fucking time. Negotiate a month-to-month lease if possible. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it isn't. If it's not possible, the next good but not as good scenario is a 6-month lease. Second best option. Don't sign a year lease. Unless you really are planning on living here long term. Some guys, most guys don't do this, but I kind of did this. Some guys are like, okay, I'm going to get divorced and then I'm going to focus on my work. I don't care where I live. I'm going to focus on my work. I'm going to make $1 million. So if I live in a little apartment, fine. So if you want to do that and you want to stay there long term, great. Otherwise, month to month or 6 months. Again, don't splurge. Don't say, oh, cool, I could get an awesome kick-ass, bachelor pad and I'm going to have 3 bedrooms and then. No, the odds are good that you are going to be maintaining 2 households for a while. So you don't want it too expensive households unless you're very wealthy. I've said many times, my story, I moved out into a 1-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood, but it was cheap. I had no bed. I had a mattress in the corner in my bedroom. That was it. My bedroom, you walked in my bedroom, there was a mattress in the corner. That was it. I didn't have a dresser. I had clothes piled up. I had a little couch. I had a little desk for my computer, and I had a lazy boy chair, I think. Yeah, I did. That's it. That was all the furniture I had in that thing. I was there for about a year. It's fine. It's fine. Step 8, 19 steps. Set up a new P.O. box or equivalent. So this is in addition to your safety deposit box. You need to go to the post office, or if you have the UPS store, some FedEx places do this where you can get an address, a post office box, a new mailing address for physical mail. Okay? Something cheap and close by, something convenient. Again, do it at a place where your wife does not go and doesn't do any business. Okay? You're going to need this address. Start having all of your important stuff, bank statements, stuff from your divorce attorney mailed there, not at your current home address. I have talked to many men and heard many horror stories about men trying to divorce their wives or leave their live-in girlfriends, and they don't do this, and the attorney sends mail to the house because they have to legally, or bank statements or investment stuff from their investments, and the wife is usually the one checking the mail, and she opens it, she's like, what the fuck? And now you're fucked. You don't send any mail to your current address anymore. You send it to your new address where your wife can't touch it and doesn't see it. Right? When you start working with attorneys and any new entities, so if you start up new bank accounts, which you're going to, new investments accounts, which you're going to, you use that address in the P.O. box, not your current home. Okay? Very important. As usual, guys are idiots about this and fuck this up. One guy, can I tell this story? I'll summarize this story. One guy was moving like $100,000 out of his main investment account, and he didn't do this. And his wife checked the mail, and he didn't think that through because guys are stupid. And she caught it, and she reversed it, and she ended up with most of that money. He could have ended up with all that money. She ended up with like 70 grand. I think she had to pay him 30 because he didn't open up his own P.O. box. Now, I can tell you all kinds of other stories, but there you go. This is great stuff. This is information also in one of your books. It actually at the moment isn't. I had an old book where I had a chapter on this. I redid the book and I removed that chapter because it didn't match the rest of the book. So actually, no. This is it. Some of you guys who are really serious about this, this is one of those podcasts you need to re-listen to and take notes on. Or watch the video where I did the slides. Number 9, line up a moving company. Now, this is important. You hire a real moving company. It can be a cheap moving company. That's fine. You don't use your buddies. You don't recruit 3 or 4 of your buddies and your cousin and your brother to help you move. Why? You got to tell them all what you're doing. And one of those guys is going to tell his wife or his girlfriend, and then she'll tell and then your wife will find out. Ninja. Remember ninja? Ninja. Ninja. Rap. Ninja. Ninja. Rap. Go, ninja. Go, ninja. Go. That's you. Don't be stupid. Remember, men are dumb. Women are insane. You're a man, so you're dumb. Don't be dumb. Okay? So do not use friends and families. They can spill the beans. A real moving company. You pick a move-out date if you can. Now, you might not be able to. Maybe you're nowhere near the money you need in your safety deposit box yet, and fine. But if you can pick a date 2 months out, 3 months out, or next week or whatever, probably not next week. Okay, great. I'll talk more about this in a minute in the next step. If you can pick the date now, you have to do it on a date when you know your wife will be out of the home, wife or live-in girlfriend, will be out of the home for at least 4 hours straight. And if you don't know, don't pick that date. You can't pick the date yet, get the pricing and availability so you can have them on hot standby. Hey, look, if I call you with 3 days notice, can you fit me in? No, we can't do that. We need at least 2 weeks notice. You have to know these things. Or yes, we can, probably. Or you say, if I throw an extra $100 in there, will you like put me on like hot? Oh, okay, we can do that. Do whatever you need to do, but you need to know what their availability is because you might find out and go, okay, cool, this is perfect. Next week, I need next Monday at 3 p.m. You need exact time. So be aware of this, okay? Step 10, get a divorce attorney. If you don't already have one, you probably don't. So if you're starting from zero and you don't know anybody, now if you know friends or coworkers, distant friends, not close friends, you can't ask your best friend, all your friends, do you know a good divorce attorney? Hey, Dad, you know a good divorce? You don't want to do that because they'll tell people. But if you have like distant coworkers who know who got divorced, this attorney, and man, I got divorced, this attorney was awesome, great, get his referral. If you can't do that, then in most countries, including the United States, you can call the Bar Association and they can give you several referrals. If any friends, family already know you're doing this, you can ask them for referrals. Talk about that. Rule of 3. I've talked about this many times. Whenever you hire anyone for any purpose, you interview at least 3 of them. You don't call one divorce attorney and say, okay, you're fine, you'll do. No. You call 3, a minimum. That's a minimum. 4 or 5 is better. I usually call 4 or 5 people. When I'm hiring anybody, if I'm hiring someone for my business, if I'm hiring an attorney, if I'm hiring a testosterone doctor, it doesn't matter. I'm talking to at least 5 people. 3 is the minimum. I talk to 5. And you interview them and you ask them the hard questions. If you have to do it in person or over Zoom or over the phone, whatever you need to do, it doesn't matter. Ask the hard questions, see how they do, and you pick the best one out of the 3 or 4 or 5. That's how you do it. Okay? That's exactly what I did. My divorce attorney was great. Great guy. Expensive, but good. If for some reason they need a cash deposit or retainer deposit to start working with you, most of the time they don't. Sometimes they do. Great. You got your safety deposit box. That's what money is for. The safety deposit box money is for attorneys, first deposit on the apartment, and moving out, and miscellaneous moving expenses. So now you're covered. Because a lot of guys say, well, how do I move out? How do I get an apartment? Oh, I don't have any money. That's what the safety deposit box is for. Got it? Good. And it's cash. You should have this, the Unchained Man. No, it's too niche for that topic. And most men who read the Unchained Man are not living with a woman. All right, step 11. Next thing, when you have all this dialed in, you need to clean out your life. I did this. This is what you need to do. For the next several weeks, you got several weeks now before you move out, probably, sometimes a month or 2. You need to go through everything you own and clean it out. Go through your garage, go through your office, your home office, go through, if you have a stupid storage unit, go through all that shit, go through your clothing, go through everything and start throwing shit out. Because you're going to move. You only have a few hours to move. You don't want to move with a lot of stuff. Think minimalist. You're Mr. Minimalist. Remember, you can buy everything later when you dump the wife and you get rich. And you're banging hot girls. You can buy anything right now. You don't need to minimize. So go throw out everything you don't need. What, 100%. Clothing, shoes, tools, stupid shit in the yard, the stupid car, the second car. Get rid of all that stuff. Okay? And a drink. This should be part of the Alpha 2.0 conversion course. That's a better idea. That would make more sense if it's part of a conversion course. Throw away as much as you can. Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. Go to the dump. Nothing feels better than having a truckload of crap and you go to the dump, the city dump, and you dump it. It feels great. I've done that many times throughout my life. Today, I'm more minimalist. But back in the old days where I was more normal, a beta male, and you just have all this garbage, you take it to the dump. It was great. Especially when I had kids, because kids create a bunch of garbage with the wife. And it's awesome. Make a final pile of your key stuff that you need to move out with, that you need to keep. Okay? Fine. The rest of it either throw away or leave there with your wife. You can make like 3 piles. Throw away, take with me, and leave with the wife or the kids. That's what I did. Remember all of your garage items too, those of you who have garages. Now, let's see, what I want to add to that. It's not the slides. One option you have, if you are a psycho pack rat from hell and you have to have all this crap, or like, well, for my business, I have all this garbage and I have all this inventory. Okay, then you could get a storage unit. Worst case scenario, get a storage unit, only in your name, pay cash if you can, so there's no paper trail, somewhere that your wife has never used, no one in your family uses it, and you can put all that crap in the storage unit. That's fine. Hopefully you don't need to do that. That means you're keeping too much crap. Okay. Step 12. You need to start separating your day-to-day finances. So if she has access, and likely she does because you were an idiot beta male and you were following societal programming and you have all these, joint checking accounts and joint cell phone accounts and joint cable account and joint car accounts, joint. Everything's joint, which you should not fucking do in the modern era with women. Can't believe men still do this. You need to start severing those carefully. I'll show you how to do this because you cannot be operating in a checking account that she has access to. That's not going to work. Okay. So things like personal checking account, business accounts, mobile phone accounts, you can't be in those anymore. Okay. And so on. So here's how you do this. You don't want her finding out. You can't go and cancel a bunch of her accounts. So what the fuck? Okay. What you do is you start new accounts, ideally at a new bank. You can be the same bank if you want. You start a new personal checking account, a new business account with just your name on it. And you start doing business through that instead of your joint account. Slowly and carefully. Don't do anything major that'll tip her off yet. Okay? Not yet. Okay? Yeah. And don't cancel anything yet. You're gonna, not yet. Remember, stealth. You don't want to tip her off. That's going to cause more drama. So don't cancel her debit cards or credit cards. Don't do that. You're going to do that after you leave. After that, once you're out, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Not now. You're still living with her. Cool? Cool. Step 13. Schedule your move out day when you're ready if you haven't done it yet. Again, I'm going to say this again. You need to only do this on a day you know for a fact she will be out of the house for at least 4 hours. More than 4 hours is better. She's gone for a day, it's even better. 4 hours will do it if you've done the other steps, if you're organized, and there's some more steps we're going to cover in a minute. Okay? So at least 4 hours, minimum. Okay? And if you don't know, you're not sure, don't wait till the day until you're sure. This is what I did. I'm going to repeat this yet again. Do not tell anyone you're doing this. Don't tell friends. Don't tell family. Don't tell parents. Don't tell coworkers. The odds of someone spilling the beans and telling your wife or telling one of your wife's friends or sister are too high. And I've seen guys do this. I saw a scenario where a guy was leaving his wife. He told a bunch of coworkers, okay? All his coworkers, not all, a bunch of coworkers at his work. The coworker told his wife, coworker's wife. The wife had met the guy's wife at a few parties and knew her, called her up and said, hey, I don't think this ain't my business, but women's sisterhood and I need to protect. You know how this works, right? I'm just letting you know, apparently your husband's getting ready to leave you. And he was fucked. Oh, he got fucked. So don't do it. Shut your fucking mouth. Pretend it's a first date. Remember on first dates, she does 80% of the talking. You keep your mouth shut. Same thing. The next time, keep your fucking mouth shut about this. I didn't tell anyone. I just moved out. And then my wife freaked out and told everyone. And even my parents, my best friend, no one knew this. Like, Caleb moved out? What the hell? No one had any idea because I didn't tell anybody. Because that's why it works so perfectly. I say especially today because of things like social media, and just don't do it. Don't do it. Put the deposit down on your apartment so you can move in once you have your move-in day. So you take your money out of your safety deposit box. If you have to physically drive there to handle the cash, fine. Make your deposit, get your key, get all ready to go. Schedule movers, again, use your safety deposit cash. Well, Caleb, it's cash, then I got to drive out there and then drive out there and give it to them. Or I guess by now, in certain scenarios, if you set up a new checking account and you have a debit card that's working, now again, where does the debit card go? To the P.O. box. You see this all ties together? You don't send the new debit card to your house where your wife gets it. She'll be like, what's this? Okay. So if you have a debit, if it's been several weeks or months, you've got the debit card for the new account, her name's on it, the bank she's never done, then you can use that. You can put the cash in that account and it's fine. Now, quick pause. We're going to the next, we have 6 more steps. The Immersion program, I mentioned this on Monday with the Unchained CEO podcast. There was an immersion service that I was going to do in Dubai where you fly out to Dubai and you follow me around for 4 days, literally all day, all night, all my business appointments. You meet all my women in Dubai, everything. I show you everything. You're sitting me and I show you everything on my screen. I show you everything in my life. When I'm working out, everything. You shadow me for 4 days. I've changed that because enough of you asked where instead you can now do it remotely. You don't need to go to Dubai. You just do it remotely. And I'm going to do everything on streaming for a small group of people. And for 4 days, you're going to stream and follow me around everything I do. Everything I do, including my personal life. No, you can't watch me actually having sex. You can't do that. Other than that, and there's might be 1 or 2 things for my investments I might have to block. Other than that, you're going to see everything I do. You're going to meet everybody, and you can ask me questions for 4 days straight. And you do it from your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. And it's now 1/4 the price because you don't have to fly to Dubai. Completely remote. You don't have to go anywhere. You shadow me for 4 days, 12 hours a day. It's going to be over a streaming platform. I haven't picked which one yet, but it'll be a standard one that I know works on any device. You will see everything. I will show you everything. I will share my screen and show you everything I do. Unlimited access to me for 4 days. You can ask me any questions you want, discuss any topics you want for 4 days. It's like 4 days of coaching because I'm going to limit the size of the group. It's not going to be 100 guys in there. It's going to be a limited number of people because I can't have 100 people ask me questions for it. I'm also throwing in as a bonus a 2-hour coaching session, business coaching session with Billy. Billy makes high 6 figures. She owns 9 different companies. She kicks ass in business. I'm just going to throw that in for free. You get a 2-hour consultation with her whenever you want. I'm also going to throw this in as another bonus. You get a $1,000 credit toward the 90-day business builder if you sign up for this. If you've already done business builder or you want something else, it's a credit you can use for anything else I sell. $1,000. You can really kind of deduct $1,000 off the price. This was $8,000. If you look at the website, it's now $2,997. 4 days of unlimited access. So here's the thing. I charge $2,000 for a mastermind where you have me with 5 other people in a room for like half a day. This is just a little more than that for 4 full days. And it's remote. You don't have to go anywhere. www.caleb.top/shadow. That's where you want to go if you want in on this. It happens in November. There are certain dates. I think it's November 7th through. You can't just sign up whenever you want. There's a date. We all do this. It's going to be in November. Okay. Deadline is soon. I don't remember what the deadline is. Go to the website. It's there. I am going to limit the number of people who sign up for this. If we get a bunch of people signing up, especially the last minute, which happens all the time, I'm going to cut it off at a certain amount. I can't have 45 people constantly asking me questions for 4 days. That's not going to work. I don't know what that number is. I honestly haven't picked that number yet. I got to think about this. but I know it's not a bazillion guys. And yes, if you're a woman, you can do this too. You can follow me around if you're a woman, that's fine. Okay. But there's a limited number. I can't, and I don't know what that is. 10 people, 12 people, 15 maybe? I don't know. I haven't decided. But I'm letting you know, at some point I'm going to shut this off, even if the deadline hasn't been reached, because we have too many people. Okay? www.caleb.top/shadow. Let me put a banner up here, and I will continue with our steps here. Hang on a second. I'll do a banner in a minute. Okay. Moving on. Step 14. The evening before you move out, you have to pack. You don't want to pack as the movers are getting there. That's not going to work. You've got less than 3 hours. You got a 3-hour window to move out. She's gone from 4, you move out within 3. So you have a buffer of 1 hour. I'll tell you a little story in a second that happened to me where I almost fucked this up. Hang on a second. What you need to do is the evening before you move out, you need to pack as much as you can. Do your best to pack as much as you can into boxes, since tomorrow you'll have to move fast. If you're already organized, you've already organized your stuff, so this should be easy because that was a prior step, wasn't it? Right? So this should be pretty easy. And you shouldn't have to pack very much. Okay? Do this away from your wife if you can. I remember when I did this, I had a home office that was in the garage. So you go through the garage, open another door, and I had my home office in there. So my wife at the time was in the kitchen, and so I did this. I just packed everything in boxes and showed it on my desk. She never came in there. I did it at night while she was working with the kids or whatever. Okay. Now, if you can't do that, if you live in a small apartment with your wife or something, make up something. Okay. I don't endorse lying, but say something like, hey, I'm getting organized, or you can say I'm moving stuff around, which is true. Okay. Tell her whatever. I'm getting organized. These books are driving me crazy. I'm going to move them over here, and I'm going to redo this, and just whatever you say. Give her something. Try to do it away from her if you can. But you do it the night before. You don't want the movers to come, and you got 3 hours to move, and you're not packed. That's not going to work. Okay. You don't need to pack your clothing, because if you're a guy, you probably don't have any clothes. Just grab them and pick them up and throw in a box. That's okay. You don't pack anything super obvious, like your bathroom stuff. Your wife goes into your shared bathroom. Don't share a bathroom with a wife, you fucking morons. What are you doing? Never share a bathroom. And I talk about this in my book, An Open Marriage. Don't share a kitchen. You want to argue with your wife the rest of your life? So anyway, you probably are sharing a bathroom with your wife. Don't have all your bathroom stuff gone. She walks in there and it's all, no. So the obvious stuff, don't. But that's if you can throw in a box really quick. You know what I'm talking about. And if you do anything right on the prior step, being minimalist, show them what to do. Okay? I did all this. Step 15, move out. When your wife is away for 4 hours at least, confirm that she's there and she's going to stay there. However you need to do that. If you call someone else, is my wife there? Great. I don't need, I'll talk to her later. If you need to text her or call her, hey, how's it going? And you make up some reason to talk. And she's like, yeah, I'll be here at least till 2:30. I'll probably be here till 5. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. Great. Confirm she's going to be there. Side point to this. I've mentioned this before. I lost my virginity a billion years ago to a married woman. Long-term monogamy doesn't work. And so what she would do is when I would come over to her house, when her husband was on a business trip, he would go on these business trips for like 2 months at a time. I wonder why she was cheating on him. Anyway, so she would, they were monogamous. So it was like Pink Firefly and me. What she would do when I come over to her house, but this is when I was, a young man, young man. She'd be like, all right, she was like 18 years older than me. She goes, okay, well, don't touch me. Go in the living room and go watch TV. I'm going to call my husband right now at the landline in the hotel to make sure he's there. I'm like, okay. So I would sit down and I would watch Star Trek Voyager on her TV. I remember doing this way back in the 90s. Or I watched something like that. And she'd go upstairs. She'd grab the phone and go upstairs. Hi, honey. Hi. I love how men have no idea when wives are cheating on them because men are stupid and women are really good at cheating. Okay, I love you. I'm going to go fuck this 21-year-old guy now. Just kidding. So then she'd call him, and then because she saw all the TV shows and movies where a married woman is fucking a guy, and then the husband comes home early. So she made sure Then she would hang up the phone, and then we'd go down and have sex. So if you want to do something similar to that, make sure you don't want your wife just showing up when the fucking movers are there. Get ready for drama from hell, and even possible, and I mean this in some cases, violence. And again, if you and your wife have violence and you live in a collapsing Western country, especially United States, Canada, and UK, who are the cops going to side with? Her, not you. Okay. As soon as the movers arrive, you need to get them in a huddle and say, all right, fuckers, you have exactly 3 hours. Get all this shit into that truck, and we need to be out of here in 3 hours. But Caleb, you said 4 hours, right? You have 1 hour buffer in case something goes wrong. 3 hours. I'm setting a timer right now. Boop. 3 hours, go, and say, I will help them. Help them pack. But be hardcore about this. This is what I did. I said, all right, guys, I'm leaving my wife. We got to be fucking out of here by 1. 1 o'clock, we need to be in our cars driving away. Cool? Go. Offer them bonuses if they resist. Like, well, I don't know. All right, $100 bonus for all 3 of you. For each of you gets $100 if we're out of here by, 1 o'clock. If we're out of here by 12:30. 12:30, $100 bill for each one of you. Where do you get it? Safety deposit box. Okay. Help the movers. You should do that anyway. I do that when I move. Help the movers. Don't just stand there like a lord. Pick up the boxes, get a hand truck, and start helping them load shit. They may say, if it's a collapsing Western country, there's too much regulations. So they may say you're not allowed in the truck because you're a customer. Okay, do whatever you can. Get the boxes on the street, get them loaded up. Help them. You need to get what you should be doing while they're getting the boxes. You go into your bedroom, you grab your clothes, you grab your bathroom shit, right? Your kitchen shit, stuff you couldn't throw in a box. Get that shit and then help them load. Go. Move it. Move it. Step 16. This is the hard part. And this is going to be probably one of the hardest days of your divorce. And I talked about this in step 1 and step 2, how to deal with this emotionally. Remember? So we're already ready for this. You did step 1 and step 2. You're emotionally prepared for this. You're expecting this. Weather the storm. When your wife or live-in girlfriend gets home, she's going to go crazy. She's going to go ballistic. She's going to lose her mind. And you probably would too if you were her. She had no idea this was coming, or she had an idea, but she didn't know. She's going to freak the fuck out in a very bad way. If you have children and her little kids are with her, she's going to freak the fuck out in front of your children. There's no way to stop this. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have gotten monogamous. Remember I said you already fucked up 5 years ago, 10 years ago when you got monogamous and moved in with her because your mommy and daddy said so and she stamped her little foot and you were a pussy. You already fucked up, okay? So this is going to happen. Prepare for this. This is going to happen. She's going to call you and she's going to unload hell on you if you put up with it, which you shouldn't. Okay? Now, when she calls screaming her head off, and she will, she's going to make all the threats she can make. I'm going to fucking take you to court. I'm going to take your kids. You're never going to see your fucking kids again. Or she'll say, what did my wife say? My ex-wife. She said, you're going to be a weekend father. You're only going to see your kids for the rest of your life. Okay, I'm going to take your business. I'm going to make you bankrupt. I'm going to call the police. She's going to say whatever. What's going along with the theme here? Minimum drama. What are you going to do? Yeah, okay. Now, she's probably not going to say anything of substance. Don't argue with her. Don't have a conversation with her. She's just going to scream and yell. Hang up the phone. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck. You don't even have to answer the phone. You might need to answer the phone if you have kids. I remember going through this. I've mentioned this before. I remember my ex-wife at the time calling me up, and I was in my apartment with all my boxes stacked. But she calls me up and she's like, she's screaming and yelling and threatening. And I could hear my daughter, who was, how old was she back then? 8 years old? 8 years old, crying in the background. And that's what hurt me, was hearing my daughter cry. Not my wife. And she can rant all she wants. That's going to happen to you. You have little kids, this is going to happen right in front of your little kids. And they're going to cry and be scared. That's the way it goes. You already fucked this up. Don't worry. Your kids will be happier later. It's coming. Okay? So that's why this is in caps. Do not argue with her. Most guys are going to want, listen, I thought try. And you're going to argue with her. You're going to be Andrew Tate. No. She's too irrational to have a conversation. Hang up the fucking phone. Like you're doing a soft next. Hang up the goddamn phone. Now, if I'm not going to talk about that. That's not going to happen. Next thing, during the next few days, next few weeks, okay? And certainly this day, today, she is now going to call everyone in the universe, okay? She's going to call everyone in the world she knows and say, this son of a bitch, piece of shit, fucking asshole left me, and I'm an innocent little woman. I did nothing wrong, and he's a horrible, horrible husband, and now he's fucked up his children and fucked his life, and most people are going to take her side. Everyone in her family is going to take her side. Here's how it works in divorces. Those who've been divorced or gone through this, you know how this works. Everyone on the husband's side of the family takes the husband's side. Everyone on the wife's side of the family takes the wife's side. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It could be clearly and obviously one person's fault. You could have one person, man or woman, doesn't matter, who is like cheating and doing drugs and beating the children, and everyone knows it. They're still going to take his or her side because that's how family ties work. It's part of societal programming. One of the places societal programming comes from is family. Okay, so you do not talk to anyone in her family. Even if they call you, they will not be on your side. Even if they know it's her fault. Let me say that again. Even if the people in her family logically know that she was cheating on you or beating you up or beating up the kids or doing drugs or getting drunk or robbing banks, they will still take her side. It's how human beings work. It's totally irrational. It doesn't make any sense. Be aware of this. They will automatically take her side regardless of whose fault. Ignore their calls, texts, and voicemails, and block numbers if you have to. Men forget you can block numbers. Block all of them. If you need to, it's fine. Even if you like them, block them, block them, block them. What's funny is when I went through this, my ex-wife's mom, so my ex-mother-in-law, my mother-in-law at the time, was this cranky old lady from Nebraska, from rural Nebraska, cranky old lady. She's long dead now. She left me a voicemail, and it was funny as she was like 3 or 4 sentences, and she just hung up. But she's like, "I think you're both being idiots." Click. It's great because I can imagine my ex-wife calling her mom, "Caleb left me," and she's like, "Oh, you're being a fucking bitch, and he's a dumbass." Anyway, if anyone from her family calls, do not answer the phone. Do not respond to texts. If you need to block numbers, block numbers. Okay. God, sometimes you're a man. You're a man, so everyone's against you. Some people in your family will be on her side. That can happen. They'll be on your side, but they'll say, did you need to leave her? Can't you go back? You have little kids. Can't you, especially like your mom or your sister? Well, can't you, you're going to get some of that too. Get ready. It's going to happen. Quick story from step 15, when I did step 50, when I moved out. One of the scariest moments of my life. I remember this back when I was a beta male. I moved out. We got our stuff. My movers got done in 3 hours. Okay. I'm like, oh, because the whole time you're like, okay. So then you get in the car. I'm following the truck. Get the apartment. We start unloading shit, and I'm helping unloading boxes. And I realize I had something back then called the black box. This was a fancy cardboard black box, and I kept all of my checks and my debit cards and my credit cards and my financial information in this box. I didn't have a safe back then for some reason. I don't think I needed it. And the black box is black, and it was under the desk, and it was dark. So I forgot to pack the black box. This is the most important fucking thing in my life, and it's the one thing I forgot. And I'm sitting there at the apartment. I remember this. This is 20 years ago. I still remember this. I go, oh, fuck! The black box is still... So here's what I had to do. I went to the movers. I said, keep unloading the shit. I forgot something. I got to go get it. Yeah. This is why you add an hour for a buffer. So I got in my car and I drove as fast as I could. It was probably a 20-minute drive. 20-minute drive. And the whole time I'm driving, I'm like, please, God, don't let her be there. Please, God, please, I love you, God. I don't even believe in God. I don't believe in Judeo-Christian God. Please. And my heart is pounding the whole time, that whole drive, driving as fast as I can, going all the way back to the house just to get that fucking box. I was so mad at myself. Pull up to the house, open the garage door. She's not home. Okay. I jump out of that car. I'm like the Flash. I run as fast as I can, go to the thing, grab the black box that's there, run and get my car, and I drive away. And driving, once I was pretty far away, I'm like, oh, thank God. I remember going through these roller coaster emotions. This is literally 20 years ago for me. But anyway. So don't make that mistake. Oh, one other thing is I forgot the garage stuff. That's why I said, remember your garage. I didn't consider anything important in the garage, but I used to have those Hallmark vintage Star Trek Christmas ornaments, where they're like one of a kind. They're actually valuable. They never make them again. I had a whole bunch of them, and they were in the box for the Christmas ornaments in the garage. I forgot about those. So months later, I'm like, where's my Deep Space Nine? Where's my Defiant? Where's my Klingon Bird of Prey? Where's my, and I'm like, oh shit. I left them in the box in the garage with the Christmas ornaments. And what do you think my ex-wife did as soon as she found those? Right in the trash. So just be aware. All right. Step 17. Lean into emotional support. Don't be a lone wolf. Okay, this is important. Now you can tell everybody you want. It's done. Deed is done. They'll probably your parents probably find out before you do, before you tell them. That's what I did. I mean, because my ex-wife called my parents, her parent, they called everybody. She called everybody. That's what your wife will do. She'll call everybody. He's an asshole. Okay, right? Your favorite people, your favorite family members, your favorite buddies, lean in. Because you're going to need it. You're going to need the support the next few weeks. You're going to feel bad, especially if you have kids. Lean into support. Lean into these people, okay? Talk to them. Go to the bar, have a drink, hang out. I don't drink. You got my point, okay? Lean in to the key people in your life. You're going to need the emotional support. Don't try to be Mr. Alpha Male Lone Wolf. You're going to need help. That's why I talked to having a coach or a therapist do this. That's even better. In addition to that, okay? Do this. Do not lean into any women. Men, not chicks, not women you're fucking or women you want to fuck or female coworkers or, well, now that I'm single, I can fuck the secretary. No. More on that in a minute. No, men. Lean into men. Women aren't going to relate to this anyway. Men. Some guys lean into girls and then they get emotional and they get a girlfriend and then it blows in their face while they're still getting divorced. I'll cover that in a minute. Step 18. I could do an entire podcast on just this step. I'm not going to do that today, but I could. And I've written articles about this. Move forward with the legal stuff as fast as humanly possible. As soon as you're moved out, the next phone call you make is to your divorce attorney, and you need to, in most Western countries, serve her with divorce papers. That begins the legal proceedings. Most Western countries, that works. They have a notary or one of those guys, serve her with papers. Get that done right now. Say, matter of fact, if you're organized, you say 1, 2, 3, go. Serve her with papers now. Go, boom. And you want to wait a week or 3 weeks to serve her with papers. Get that fucking done. Your job is get divorced as fast as possible. Your number one goal in life is to get the legal divorce over with as fast as humanly possible. The longer you drag this out, the more money it will cost you, the more emotional damage you will suffer, the worse it will be for your kids, and the more long-term psychic damage you will suffer in your brain. I have a lot of buddies. It takes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of constant fighting to get divorced. No. Took me 3 years or 2 years, but we weren't fighting just because I was lazy. I didn't do this. I just kind of, whatever. And that was a huge, huge mistake on my part. Do not, this is again, I could do a whole podcast on this. This is a very big topic. Some of you are going to disagree with this. I'm right. Do not go to war against your wife. You will lose. You, in the Western world, you will lose. I'm sorry. If you go to war, you will lose. Even if you quote win, it will cost you $100,000 in legal fees to quote win. Was that winning? No. You will lose. Just give her enough to shut her the fuck up so she signs the paperwork so you can get fucking divorced. Are you going to get everything you want? No, you will not. To repeat 10,000 times. You already fucked this up 7 years ago when you legally married her and got monogamous and moved in with her and got her pregnant. You already fucked this up. The damage, you're suffering the damage out from the fuck up you made years ago. If you want to fix this damage, take a time machine and go back in time 10 years ago and don't do that. Can't do that, so now you got to suffer through this. I'm sorry. You're not going to get everything you want. I didn't get everything I wanted. It was okay. Okay? I'm talking about custody too when you have kids. Don't spend the next 3 years in a custody battle with your wife. Don't do it. Well, I want the kids at 4 days. I deserve 4 days a week instead of 3 days. Take 3 days a week then. Well, I shouldn't. I know you shouldn't. This process is not fair. The law favors her. You already fucked up. Okay. Now, I was lucky here. I did not have to have a custody battle. My wife, thank God, my ex-wife, thank God, my kids really wanted to see me, and she didn't have the balls to say, you're not seeing your dad, because she didn't want to see my kids cry. So I was able to have all the access to kids I wanted. So I was lucky, and that was just luck of the draw. Lucky. We did fight over money and alimony. That was a fight. But I didn't fight. I didn't go to war. We fought a little bit, and I said, fine, bitch. And I gave her some. I had to spend some money. Here's the thing about this. I've said this many times. Did I lose money in my divorce? Yes. I made it all back 100x once I was single and didn't have the shackles of being with a monogamous woman. Don't worry. You'll make it all back. So yeah, I lost some money, and I was pissed off. I wrote her some big checks, and I was mad. But you know what? I made all that money back many times over. Many times over. It's fine. It all worked out, and it'll work out for you. Don't go to war. Because you're going to want to, especially if you have kids. I had kids. Even if you don't have kids, in some cases, you're going to want to go to war. Well, your kids are going to see you 1 day a week. Fuck you. You're like, well, fuck you. And then you're going to go to your attorney. You better make sure I don't. And you're going to spend $75,000 in legal fees, and you'll lose. Sorry. You'll make so much money later as a free and single man. You'll be just fine. That's how this works. Okay? Step 19, last step. I could do a whole thing on this, and I will. So again, I'm going to do part 2 to this, how you manage your life the first year after a divorce. I'm going to go into more detail about this later. This is a big one. This is what men don't do. Men, almost 100% of men don't do step 19. No dating or serious relationships with any women for at least a year after you do this. A year, you fuckers, a year. That means no, in alpha 2.0 parlance, no MLTRs, and sure as fuck no OLTR. For a year. A year. What? For a year. You will fuck it up. I'll talk about it in a second. FBs are fine if you can control yourself. If you're going to fall, when a man goes through a divorce or a breakup like this, he's very emotionally vulnerable. And so even FBs is kind of dangerous because you'll fuck a hot girl and then you'll fall in love with her. I see this happen many times. Guys go through a divorce. They fuck a hot FB who's like 20 years younger, and they've never done that before because they're betas. They've been betas their whole life. Okay. And they go, well, she's really awesome. I really like her. And then they start falling in love with her and getting one-itis and getting, no. I've seen guys break up from their wives. They go on a sugar daddy site. They fuck a hot 19-year-old and they're 42 and they've never fucked a 19-year-old before. They go, oh, and they fall in love with a 19-year-old. If you don't think you can control yourself, you're going to have to jerk off to porn for a while. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you think you can control yourself, FBs, only FBs are okay. You know what FB means? No dating, no spending the night. You fuck her, you talk, and she's out of the house. You go back to work. Okay? Really important. You are not emotionally equipped. This is why. You are not emotionally equipped after a divorce to have any sort of dating or dating as an MLTR, serious as an OLTR relationship with any females right now. You are not. You will fuck it up. You'll make all the same mistakes again. Now you've got 2 breakups at the same fucking time. And I've seen thousands of men go through this. They go through a divorce. They immediately get a girlfriend or start dating some chick because they're so horny they can't stand it. And I was there. You haven't had sex in 7 months because you're in this horrible marriage. I was there. I relate to all this stuff. But I wasn't stupid. I didn't get a girlfriend. I fucked. You need to fuck. If you can control yourself. Okay? They get some girlfriend. They start dating some chick. They fuck it all up. They get serious too fast. Now they're going through a divorce and a breakup with the new girl at the same time. And they just fuck their lives. You cannot do this. You need to set a rule. No dating. Fucking is okay. No dating for a year. After a year, do whatever you want. Takes about a year, and in my extensive experience of working with divorced men, and in my experience, it takes about a year for you to get back to 100% normal. It's not in these slides, but I'm telling you, you're going to be a little off for about a year. When I coach men one-on-one, I tell them this, going through a divorce, bro, you're okay. You got divorced on this date. For the next 12 months, you're going to be a little off. Your work is going to suffer a little bit. Your health is going to suffer a little bit. Your dating life is going to be a little, you can't have a dating life. You're going to be a little off for about a year. It takes a year to get back to normal. And the longer the marriage, the more true that is. Just plan on it. And I was off for about a year. I remember that year vividly. February 2007 to February 2008. I was off that year. I was off a bit. It wasn't a horrible year, but I was off. And you will be too. You don't want to have a relationship with a woman when you're off. And get one-itis when you're off. Jesus Christ. If you need to get laid, and you probably do, I say you probably do because you're probably having sex in forever. You've been in a monogamous relationship. Play with distant, low-end FBs, and that's it. Exactamundo. Okay? Distant, low-end FBs. Okay? Sugar daddy is fine if you can afford it, but don't fall in love with any 19-year-olds. Don't get excited. The odds of you getting one-itis or excited about a girl go way up during that first year, which is why it's so dangerous. Okay? And there are many men in my audience who ignore this advice. I tell them this, they go, yeah, and they go right out and get a girlfriend. Some guys move right in with another girl. Oh my God. Okay, right. No dating for at least a year, you fucking moron. It's in the slides. If you're listening to this audio version, I literally say you moron. Because this is what morons do. Men are dumb. Okay? It's only a year. You can handle a year. Okay, you can handle a year. All right? You can handle a year. You can fudge it a little bit. So what I did is, and I didn't have these rules set in place back when I did this, but I did most of these things. I got divorced in February. December, there was a girl I started to like. December. But here's my point. It wasn't until December. Almost a year. So I started to kind of lean into this girl. Okay. But at least that was December. That was 2 months less than a year. Okay. Not bad. And then most of you know my story. What happened in 2008? My life fucking took off. The number of women I was with, the quality, oh my God. And then a few years later, my finances took off. Oh, it's great. It's what I say at the beginning of this. It's worth it. It's worth the pain. Don't worry. It's worth it. Get divorced as fast as you can. Don't date anybody. Get it done. Cool? Cool. All right. That's it. Let's answer your questions. Oh boy. We have a lot of questions. Holy shit. Okay. Holy fuck. I might need my glasses for this. God damn. Okay, hang on. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. I got to go in a little bit, but I'll answer your question as much as I can. Oh my goodness, guys. Whoa, this is a popular topic. Okay. American girls have fat asses, but they also have fat guts to match. No, they don't. The ones with fat guts often don't have fat asses. Sometimes they do. Studies show men's testosterone reduces and prolactin increases when they have kids. That is correct. How and why should I maintain my non-monogamous lifestyle if I have less sexual desire for when I have an infant? Because de facto monogamy is still monogamy. So if you just don't have sex for a few months or a year, first of all, that's not true. Your sex drive's not going to go from where it is to zero when you have a baby. I've had several babies. My sex drive didn't go to zero when I had babies. It was a little less. You're acting as if it goes to zero. Number one. Number two, the reason for monogamy is not relevant. If you are monogamous, she will know, and as soon as you start having sex with the girls, you're going to get drama. You can't logically say, well, the reason I wasn't having sex was because, honey, my testosterone's lower because I had a baby. You think the lack of walkable cities in the U.S. has led to people being obese? No, I do not. How do you personally? So, no, I think the obesity is because of food. 95% of the reason why you are obese or chubby or skinny is the food you eat. Exercise is only 5%. Instagram has fucked this up. Instagram has contributed to this myth of exercise will make you lose weight. No, it won't. And you have all these, and I follow some of these people on Instagram. These people who lost like 100 pounds, 150 pounds, 200 pounds. Here's how and they're on Instagram. So what do they show you videos of them doing? They're at the gym, lifting weights and on the treadmill and doing the elliptical, lifting more weights. That's not what helped them lose 150 pounds. What the video should be is them sitting like this, eating broccoli and going, God damn it. That's what made them lose weight. I know what I'm talking about here. How do you personally like cities structured? Very big question I could answer in a quick thing like this. Plus, she'll be okay postpartum banging random fuck buddies. You have the OLTR talk before you do any of this, and you let her know during the OLTR talk before she's your girlfriend, I'm going to be having sex all the time, no matter what else is going on for the rest of my life. If we have babies, I'm still fucking girls. If you're pregnant, I'm still fucking girls. You say that to her. If she goes, well, fuck you, then she doesn't qualify for OLTR. You establish that before she becomes your girlfriend, not when you're about to have a baby. What separates the way you run social circle referral game as compared to the way most seduction gurus use social circle game, nightlife parties, events? It's a whole different model. Referral game is an entirely different model. I have a podcast on it. You can listen to it. I also talk about my books. Referral game is not social circle game. Social circle game is different. Now, I've done social circle game also, but referral game and social are two completely separate processes. But other guys seem to have taught it. It looks time-consuming and exhausting, especially for introverts. Introverts should not do social circle game. You'll hate it. Correct. Introverts should not do social circle game and probably not night game. You shouldn't even try it. You'll hate it. You'll hate social circle game if you're an introvert. I don't do much of it. I don't do any of it for years. Is it possible to blow a first date by talking too much about sex with a girl from a high ASD culture? I find some conservative girls try to avoid sex talk by bringing it up. Yes. When you do sex talk on a first date, you need to watch her reaction, her body language. If she suddenly starts closing up and starts saying, don't push it. Yes, you can blow a first date part of dating, first date, second date, third date, is to watch her body language and what she says in her eyes and react. You don't just completely ignore her reaction and keep talking about pussies. Correct. What's a good response to, do you think fast sex is necessary to get to know someone? No woman will ever ask you that. You're reading too much red pill shit. Have you ever had scenarios where a woman agrees to a first date? Well, wait a minute. Let me go back to your question. Maybe I dismissed you too quickly. What's a good response to, do you think fast sex is necessary to get to know someone? Yeah, a woman is not going to ask you that. Have you ever had scenarios where a woman agrees to a first date, but then at the same time says things that sound disqualifying? Example, I guess I'll go out with you. I hope you're not boring, etc. Those are slight red flags, but not enough to cancel the date. You have to remember that there are women who are bitches. So some of the women who say they are bitches, then there are women who are exhausted. Dating is exhausting for women. They don't like it. And the older they are, the more that's true. If they're over 33, they hate it. If they're over 28, it's exhausting. It's not fun and exciting like guys. Is that weird? How to fulfill all the fantasies I want to part of that system? It seems you have lived all your fantasies with multiple women. Any advice? I think I missed your first question. I don't see your first question. You have to rewrite your question. I don't know what you're talking about. How about putting her in a cheap apartment? I already answered that. Trick her to go to a spa or something, then change the locks in the meantime. Again, massive drama. You might be making a joke. If you're not making a joke, you will create massive drama. She could even call the police. In most Western countries, she has every right to live in that house, and the police will enforce it. You're fantasizing, or you're making a joke. Just have her put the apartment in her name because she can leave. You can leave without any issues. Most men don't do that. These are men who haven't done that. Yes, that's part of OLTR. You live OLTR, yes. But we're not addressing those men. I handled a breakup pretty badly last week with myelitis. Because you had one-itis, yeah. Luckily, I've learned a lot from my experience dating her. I have 2 other places at the moment, at least, but I have a lot of inner work to do. Yeah, most of you do. Keep working. John Anthony Lifestyle said, my favorite comments are John Anthony Lifestyle said, or Andrew Tate said. In the old days, it was Roosh said. John Anthony Lifestyle said that hot women are not accustomed to good sex because the women come quickly, or as soon as she touches their dick, they come. That is all women, not just hot women. That is most women. Ask most Western women, are guys good in bed? And they're like, are you fucking kidding? Now, here's a funny thing about this. You come to South America, where I am, and you ask that same question to women in South America with Latino guys, I should say. How are guys during sex? Like I've asked women, how are Paraguay men during sex? You know what those said? They go, yeah, they're pretty good. Whole different thing. Western guys suck at sex. How to be a rock star in bed. Very big topic. Here's the short answer. Women come through their dick, which is rare, fingers, tongue, or vibrator. Learn what she likes, do what she likes, make her come. That's it. There's more, but that's the main point. Women have said to me that I'm boring. That's a problem. You cannot be boring. That's very bad. And they leave me all the time because you're boring. Probably, yeah. How can I change that? Because my personality is boring. I'm not a fun extrovert. I'm not an extrovert. I'm an introvert. I'm an extreme introvert. I know you can't tell. That's my point. I'm an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. I hate talking to people. I'd rather be home alone all day. Not a fun extrovert. If I try, I won't be congruent. I'm not fun. I'm not fun. What do I do all day? I work. I'm super boring. I work all day. I don't go parties and go to clubs and go to events, and I'm not fun. How do I do it? Big answer. I can't answer it in this quick Q&A like this. Make sure she does most of the talking. Ask questions about her. Get her talking. Constantly ask questions. And then what happened? Oh, really? Keep her talking. Then she'll love you. You don't have to be excited. I'm not exciting. I'm not an expert. But I let women talk, and I'm good at asking questions. And I let them talk, and they love me. There's a woman here in Paraguay who is, I can't get rid of her. I mean, that's exaggeration. She is begging to marry me. She doesn't care I'm already married. She is begging to marry. Please, I love you. Marry me. I'll do anything you want. And she's one of the hottest girls in Paraguay I've ever been with. And she's not unusual in my case. And I'm an introvert, and I'm not fun. Because I let her talk. I have a 14-year non-living together, LTR. I have a few FBs. So are you cheating or is it open? You didn't specify that. I feel I will lose her if I go full alpha 2.0. I don't know your information. Are you cheating on her? You need to get my course. You're the second person who's asked this live stream. Get my course, mini course, how to convert a monogamous relationship to open. It's about $127. It shows you step-by-step how to do it. There's a number of you who need to do this. And your odds of success are about 70% if you've been a good boyfriend or husband. If you've been an asshole boyfriend or husband, she'll probably leave. If you've been a good boyfriend/husband, your odds of success are 70%. I didn't say she won't get mad. Of course she'll get mad, but she'll stick around, 70%. Any stories about where a woman rejected you, but later you ended up with her? How did you do it? What happened? Rejected me. I don't know what you mean by rejected me. We're specific. 100% of women who have rejected me at the end of the first date, I never had sex with. There are women who've left me and come back, but I already had sex with them twice. But no, if a woman doesn't like you after the first date, you're never seeing her again. I have a 0% success rate with women who didn't like me by the end of the first date. I've tried. It doesn't work. Women make a solid decision at the end of the first date, or more accurately, during the first date. No, not him. And there's nothing you do to recover from that. That's why you go on many first dates, not one or two. How do you minimize drama during breakups? Is it okay to move everything out while she's not there? Okay, I already answered that. And leave a breakup note. Don't leave a note. Don't need to leave a note. She knows that you're dead. Women are smart. With an OLTR, what are your thoughts on scheduling sex in your calendars? I'm okay with that, but I'm a guy logical INTJ introvert robot. Women don't like it. Women think, well, that's too scheduled. It kills the romance with women. Now, if she suggests that, great, do it. But most women don't like it because it's too scheduled and it's icky. That's a man thing, not a woman thing. Any tips on doing game in places like Dubai and Monaco? Dubai and Monaco is mostly club. If you're doing real game down there, not online dating, you're doing hardcore club game. Hardcore. You're hitting it hardcore. The guys who get laid in Dubai are hardcore night game guys. Hardcore. Day game doesn't really work because women are used to it and they say fuck off. And these are conservative cultures. That's frowned upon. Okay. Night game. You better get really fucking good at night game, which is not my thing. I'm an online guy. I'm an online dating guy and I'm a referral game guy. These days, I'm a master referral game guy. I'm currently camping in the woods just to save money, not paying rent. That's cool. I think that's cool. And I'm living pretty comfortably for really cheap. You could also do that after a breakup. The vast majority of men are not going to do that because they're pussies, but I think that's really cool. I've watched videos on guys who live in a van for a while. I think it's great. Awesome. It's temporary. It's fine. You're a young guy. Great. Live in your van. I've seen some cool YouTube videos of guys who live in vans, guys who camp, live in a tent for a while, not a homeless tent in LA, out in the wilderness. That's awesome shit, dude. I love it. Love it. If I was younger, I'd do something like that. I think it's great. You don't want to live like that forever, but yeah, great. One of the goals is to have a rotation, 17 hot FBs plus a hot white, total of 18 women. That'll never happen. I'm sorry. You're not going to have 17 consistent women, including FBs. That's just not going to happen. Sorry. Because that means there won't be room for one-itis or one female jealousy toward other men, or one female or envy jealousy toward other men. Your women will always be jealous. Oh, FBs won't be jealous. Your OLTR will be jealous. Pink Firefly is still jealous a little bit. She's a girl. You're not going to have 17 women on rotation. Sorry. What you do is you get 3 smoking hot FBs on rotation and have a smoking hot wife. You won't get one-itis under that model. Having a huge rotation will improve outcome. Okay. Let's see how to manage. How to manage around having sex with an OLTR or FB on her period. I don't care. Men are really weird about this. I don't know why. I think men are pussies. I fuck women on their periods all the time. I just did it a few weeks ago. It was one of my girls here. There was blood everywhere. Don't care. There was blood all over me, blood over the bed, blood all over her. I don't give a fuck. Now, if you don't like it, then if she's on her period, say, okay, wait till you're done and then come over. Fine. According to women I've talked to, men are really squeamish about periods. They think it's gross. I don't fucking care. I'll come independent. My breakup after 6 years living together went pretty smoothly with honest communication. You were lucky. You can have honest communication, and most women are going to blow up during a breakup. So you're lucky. Sometimes, some of you guys will get lucky. I've seen it happen, not often, where the wife's like, all right, very rare. That doesn't, maybe 5% of the time, women get really mad when you enter a relationship. Women have a subconscious thing. And I don't mean this as an insult, but this is how women are. Women have a thing buried deep in their subconscious, not consciously. They're not aware of this. The thing women have is, I'm the one that ends the relationship, not you, the man. So when you enter a relationship with a woman, they go crazy. They're not used. That's the other thing. They're not used to it. Women break up from men statistically. Women aren't accustomed to men breaking up with them. It's horrifying to a woman. They don't go through it. We go through it all the fucking time. You've been through 10,000 breakups since high school, haven't you? So men are used to women dumping them. Women aren't used to this at all. When I've broken up from a hard next to women, they go crazy. Like, what? That's why soft necks work so well. I own the house and moved her to her parents. She seemed less drama when this secret way was I just lucky? Yes, you were lucky. And great. Good for you. It's awesome. What are your top 3 values in life? For example, mine are freedom, money, and independence. I don't have 3. I have 1. Freedom. Okay, I'll have a second. Long-term, consistent happiness. That's it. My financial institutions won't accept a P.O. box in my country. What? Won't her attorney do a full e-discovery on all accounts and transactions to see money moving out? Okay, first of all, what country? I don't believe you. You can't go to a P.O. box? Won't accept a P.O. box in your country? Oh, your financial institutions. Not true. You can get some P.O. boxes that are more expensive, that are actual real offices, and they come up on the system as real offices. I know what you're talking about. Some banks say, that's a P.O. box, we can't. That's not correct. It's a little more complicated, but you can. You get a real mailing address from a real office. You go to executive offices, they're called executive offices, and you can rent a real mailbox with a real suite number, and it comes up in their system as a real office. You can do that. You're making excuses. No. Won't her attorney do an e-discovery on my accounts and transactions and see money moving out 3 to 5 years back? This is not a 3 to 5 year plan. This is a 5 week to 10 week plan. Also feel bad about how I spoke to the girl when we were broke up. Love to learn how to control myself. Outcome independence. Life can be weird because for some reason, most women I'm attracted to have cats. That's not weird. It's fine. My main girl in Dubai has a cat. Who cares? I don't know until they tell me they have a cat. I don't know if it's a personality thing. Any thoughts? You're overthinking it. None of this matters. If theoretically you're getting almost daily sex from an OLTR forever, that will literally never happen. I don't do fantasy hypotheticals. That'll never happen. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not even going to answer your question. I don't do fantasy hypotheticals that never happen. Caleb, if you owned a unicorn, how would you? I don't do fantasy hypotheticals. You're never going to get an OLTR who fucks you literally every day into your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Do you want to fuck a 90-year-old every? Come on. What if they live in a rented flat rented in the guy's name? What if the owner would only rent to the guy and that's why she could live there? I don't understand. What if they live in okay, so a man, woman, couple living in a flat, rented to the guy's name, doesn't change anything I said. You move out. What if the owner would only rent to the guy and that's why she could live there? Nothing changes based on that at all. Nothing. Why women block a man after a one-night stand? Because this happened to me. Suddenly she doesn't want to talk to me, unfortunately. Too much player vibe. You came off too much like a player in most cases. What's your opinion on the movie Anyone But You and Sydney Sweeney's Big Milky Pear? I've addressed Sydney Sweeney's boobs that are not big. You think they're big. The reason you think Sydney Sweeney's tits are big, they're not. Sydney Sweeney does not have big tits. She has normal sized tits. You're accustomed to famous actresses having flat chests, A cup, because that's the only thing Hollywood allows. Sydney Sweeney, for some reason, squeaked into the cracks and got through and is now a mainstream movie star, and she has normal sized tits. So you think they're big. They're not actually big. They're not. I've seen Sydney Sweeney in bikinis many times. Those aren't big tits. Sorry. And I know nothing about tits. Do you think anyone but you, Dune 2, Twisters, Deadpool is marking the end of wokeism in cinema? No, wokeism is just as strong as it's ever been. I've addressed this as well. You are addressing Anyone But You is not a non-woke movie. It's just a normal movie. You're addressing Dune 2 and Twisters has some woke shit in the end. Okay? Dune 2 and Deadpool are the exceptions. Those are the one or two movies you get per year that are not woke. I just saw Alien Romulus. What have I said about movies? This woke DEI shit, where every movie, every TV show is 1/4 white people, 1/4 black people, 1/4 Asian people, 1/4 Hispanics. And I say it as a joke, but that's literally what it is. Go watch Romulus. That little group of Gen Z kids, that's literally half. They've got an Asian girl, a Hispanic girl, a white girl, right? A black guy. So no, wokeism is not declining at all. Did you see The Acolyte? No. What do you do if your woman isn't using protection and she does happen to mess around with another dude? Well, if it's an MLTR, she can do whatever she wants. If she's an FP, she can do whatever she wants. So you're talking about OLTR only, okay? MLTRs are allowed to go fuck any guy she wants. They never have to use condoms they don't want to. MLTRs can do whatever they want. You can't lecture them, okay? OLTR is different. You've already had a discussion about this. Hey, are you going to fuck other guys? No, I'm not. Great. Are you going to fuck other guys? Yeah, occasionally I am. All right. So we need to discuss condom usage, and she needs to agree to these things. You don't just assume that she'll be okay. And you can't just say, "Are you being safe?" Yeah, that's not a conversation. Okay. So if she has you're implying that conversation never happened. Do you just take her word for it? How do you know for sure she's pregnant? Okay. In an OLTR, part of a requirement for an OLTR is she's been your MLTR for 6 months, and you can trust her. I trust Pink Firefly because I've known her for more than 10 years. So I can trust. If she fucks a guy, she doesn't. But if she does, I can ask her, did you use a condom? And I can trust her answer. If you can't trust her, why is she your girlfriend? Dumb fuck. She should have never been your girlfriend. She should have never got past the OLTR talk. You should have never upgraded her. You don't make women OLTRs you don't trust. So that's that thing. Does your FBs know about the other women in your life? Or with example, do they know about your wife or other FBs? I show every woman a picture of me and Pink Firefly and tell every woman I'm married right off the bat. I don't lie to women. Every FB, every one of my life knows about Pink Firefly. Do my FBs know about other FBs? Not really. They don't care. In most cases, if they do care, I'll show them pictures. Sure. I don't care what they do. Joel Osteen is 61 and he looks great. He wrote a book about longevity. He did? Joel Osteen wrote a book about longevity. That'd be interesting. Okay. Do you inspire to look like that when you're 61? Yeah, he does look pretty good. He is not my model. My model for male aging is Sylvester Stallone. Black Dragon, you are so wise, which is why I fell in love with your content in the first place. When did you become so wise? I was born out of the womb wise. As soon as I was born, I was a baby and I knew everything. I don't have an answer to that question. I don't know. I'm wise in certain areas. I'm not wise in everything. Ask me about sports. I have no idea. Ask me about how to repair a car. No idea. So I'm wise in my key areas. I stay in my lane. And I get really good at my few lanes. When you were living with your Filipina OLTR, she wasn't technically an OLTR, but I did call her my girlfriend. She was a high-end MLTR. But anyway, I know what you're talking about. Yes, HBM. When you broke it, were you living with your... No, we did the dual live-in. She would come over 3 days a week and live with me 3 days a week. And the 4 days a week, I would be by myself and have sex with my FPs. Loved it. Any lessons to be learned there? This has to do with what I'm currently doing that I can't talk about until October. So a lesson that I learned for me is I really like the dual live-in model. I really, really enjoyed that. It's the most enjoyable part of that relationship. To live with a woman for half the week and have the wife experience, then the rest of the week have the single guy experience, do whatever you want. It's the best of both worlds for me. Some guys hate that. I describe that. Some guys go, oh, fuck, that'd be terrible. Some guys like it. So I realized that I really like that model. I enjoy that a lot. Learned a lot of things, but don't have time to go there. Would you consider legally marrying someone if they met all OLTR criteria, but their passport sucks, so just so she can travel with you? I would never legally marry a woman just for that one reason. There are scenarios, and I'm not going to mention them because they will be misconstrued if I say them publicly. One of these things I don't talk about publicly. There are unusual scenarios where it actually does make sense to legally marry a woman. They're isolated and weird, but they do happen. Sometimes, for example, prenuptial paperwork is more enforceable if you're legally married. It sounds weird, but it's true in some weird jurisdictions. But I would never legally marry a woman just because her passport sucks. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm incurring, by legally marrying someone, you're incurring too many risky problems that are virtually guaranteed to occur. So no. For religious guys that will never do non-monogamy, if that's you, I don't know why you're here. I don't know if you're, quote, asking for a friend or if that's you. If that's you, I don't know why you're listening to my content. You will never be happy if you have to be monogamous the rest of your life. You as a man, you'll never be happy. I'm sorry. Long term. You'll have individual moments of happiness and a lot of pain for the rest of your life until you die. Now, if you tell me, I've said many times, I don't care about happiness, great. Do whatever. Andrew Tate doesn't care about happiness. Jordan Peterson doesn't care about happiness. They said it. So if you don't care about happiness, a lot of hardcore Christians and Muslims don't. I don't know why you're here. You should be following other people. But I'll continue on with your question. For religious guys that just will never do non-monogamy, that's a mistake. I don't know why you're here. Accepting they'll be less happy than you, yes. What advice do you give them to be at least happier than monogamous guys who don't consume your content? You can't. You're fucked. You can't. You're fucked. If you want to have sex with your wife or girlfriend and she says, no, and you can't have sex, well, Caleb, how do I become less unhappy when I can't get laid like a man? You can't. It's a binary yes or no thing. You're fucked. And the only valid answer you have to what I just said is, Caleb, I don't care if I'm unhappy. I don't care. You clearly care. So you, Secret Method Studios, you clearly care that you can't be non-monogamous, which means you are making a mistake, a huge life mistake. I don't care what religion you are. Religion is societal programming. It's not real. If your religion gives you peace, wonderful. It's not real. I'm sorry, it's not. You can't scientifically prove your shit in your religion. Therefore, it's not real. Okay? So you are making a mistake. Now, if you said to me, I will always be monogamous because I'm religious, if I suffer unhappiness, I don't care. That's not important to me. I'm like Jordan Peterson. I don't care about that. Great. We have no argument. I don't know why you're here. So you're making a huge mistake. Huge mistake. And I know you're probably not going to change your mind. Do all the MLTRs that return to you need to start off as FBs again before you upgrade the MLTR? No. They can come right back as MLTRs in some cases. It depends on various factors. Depends the woman, depends on how the relationship ended, depends the relationship, depends on, but no, they don't have to. There's no rule. I've had MLTRs. They go away. They come right back as MLTRs. I've had that. Yes. I want to do the 90-day business builder, but I don't have much confidence in my knowledge skills. No one does when they start the 90-day business builder program. No one has those confidence. That's what it's for. Next week, I'm going to show you several videos of guys who made huge fucking money from 9-Day Business Builder, and I'll show you exactly what they did. And they didn't have confidence either. That's what the program is for. Should I get hands-on experience for community 9-Day Business Builder? No. Join the Business Builder. We will tell you how to get the confidence. The first few sessions are nothing but that. Mindset. Is it possible to emphasize too much how busy your life is on a first date? I've had women disqualify themselves a few times. Yeah, if you keep hammering at home, yes. Just you imply that you're busy. You don't say, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. Fantasy I have is have sex with a really hot chick in a Lamborghini because I saw a video of a really hot woman sucking dick and getting fucked inside a Lamborghini and I got jealous. Is that weird? It's weird that you got jealous. That's really weird. You've got some issues. Is it weird you want to fuck a girl in a Lamborghini? No, there's no such thing as a weird fantasy. I've had all kinds of weird fantasies, but I've done them all. Woohoo! I've done them all, but some of them are pretty weird. My big fantasy for a long time, and I did this many times with several different couples, mother-daughter. Not at the same time, but I've done it with multiple mother-daughter couples. One I did mother-daughter-daughter. So I do all kinds of crazy shit. So having the fantasy is not weird, but it's weird you get jealous. Why are you jealous? That's weird. You can rent a Lamborghini. You can rent a Lamborghini for a day or a weekend. Get a hot girl, rent a Lamborghini, and get a blowjob. Not that hard. I worked from home. It contributed to the downfall of my last relationship. Yeah, often it can. That's true. But I was also monogamous. Well, that's what contributed, but buddy, not you work from home. You were monogamous. My plan is a non-mon and always have my own space away from my OLTR. Too much contact is bad. I somewhat agree with you. There is a big issue. Some women are shut-in introverts too. What happens when she is only out for college class, max 2 to 3 hours? You figure it out. You figure it out. Does she ever visit or spend the day with her mom? Does she ever, you figure it out. You figure it out. You can find it. You have the next 6 months. You can't find a time when she's gone 4 hours. The next 6 months, yeah, you can. What about opening a foreign bank account in a country like Georgia? Can't do it in Georgia anymore. They changed their laws. Or can't do it easily. Or a non-CRS country in order to have long-term cash. If you want to be super duper creative about the international stuff, you are welcome to do that. Most men are not going to do that. But yes, you can. That would work. Most married monogamous guys are not 5 flags capable or knowledgeable. But yeah, you can. Yes, the women do get out front and start building the I am victim narrative right away. Correct. What is hilarious, I've said this many times in my blogs, is that women are always strong, independent women who don't need a man. They're always like that. Unless they're going through a divorce. As soon as they go through a divorce, they do a 180, and I'm a weak, pathetic little girl, and I can't afford these kids, and I can't afford my life, and I need his money because I'm a woman, and I don't know anything, and I'm weak and pathetic. And then, as soon as the divorce is over, she starts getting her alimony and child support, she's right back to being a strong, independent woman. I've seen it happen many times. It's like they flip a switch. It's hilarious. Yeah, I know. Since writing the ultimate younger woman manual, has anything changed for older men as far as specific game skills when using online dating for VYWs? No, that is an evergreen book. The only book I have that is not evergreen is my online dating manual. Every 6 or 7 years, that needs to be updated. I just updated that a few years ago, so that's still valid. There's no change. Here's the change. It's easier. Here's the change. Older men dating much younger women, including BYWs. It's easier now because the economy and the culture and the collapsing economics and collapsing Western world is easier. That's what's different. So you don't have to answer. So if you don't have kids, you should just not answer the phone. I don't want to say that as a blanket statement because there might be scenarios where you do need to answer the phone because you need to figure out logistics of something that's happened that day. But yes, in some cases, you don't even need to answer it if you don't have kids. Depends. I would answer it. It depends on scenario. So I can't say that as a blanket statement, but generally speaking, yes, possible. In general, do you think that women are much more accepting of casual sex and FB status with men that they wouldn't actually want to date than they are willing to admit? That changes. So women now are becoming less sexual thanks to millennials and Gen Z. So they might have a little bit of a problem with it. 15 years ago, they had no problem with it, even if they said they did. And 90s, they had no problem. 80s, they had a problem. So it depends on the era in which you live. So there's no hard and fast correct answer to that question. American blonde white girls with a big booty are hot. However, there are not that many, as a lot of them have a pretty face, but have a CrossFit type booty, which I'm okay with it. Thoughts? I have no opinion. Fuck what you like. So I love big asses. Some men hate big asses and are disgusted by big asses. I like big tits. Some men hate big tits and are super turned on by small tits. I don't get it, but every man's different. I don't like, some men like really skinny girls. Some men like girls with tats all over the place. Some men, that turns men on. Some men like dark hair. Some men like blonde hair. Some men love dark skin. A lot of white guys love the dark skin. They don't want to date a white girl, including a white Latina. It's like, why would I do that? That's stupid. Some men love Asians. Some white guys love Asians. Some white guys, take it or leave it. Some white guys only fuck Asians. I've run a few of you. There's a few of you in my audience. You white guys, you only fuck Asian girls? That's another extreme. So you have sex with who you like. Doesn't matter what I like. I have a very specific type. Oh, can I say this? I'll say this. I'll say a warped version of this. When I was talking about the thing I'm doing now that I can't talk about yet, I've told this to some of you guys in some of the events we've done in Paraguay and London, and a few of you who I do one-on-one coaching with. Okay, so when I did the event in both Paraguay and London, I showed some pictures of some women in my life, and the joke was, Caleb, you definitely have a type. I said, yes, I do. And I show a picture. It's like, she looks just like a young version of Pink Firefly. I'm like, yeah, she does. I like blonde girls. Blonde girls, big titties, big A's, small bodies. That's what I like. But that's what I like. You like whatever you want. Do you think that day game for a 45-year-old man is an overall inefficient strategy? No. If his objective is approach and gain younger women, no. I had sex with several women doing day game as a much older man. Go for it. It works fine. Be careful about left-wing areas. Like malls, you get kicked out. Be careful. But the answer is no. Day game, if you're in your 60s, you can't day game younger girl. But if you're 45 and you look decently young, oh yeah, you're fine. I've said this, 45 is prime time for a man if you don't get fat. If you don't get fat, disgusting, and bald, 40s is prime fucking time for a man in the modern era. It's not 20s. It's not 30s. It's not 50s. It's 40s. I've already left my 40s, so I'm out of my prime time. I've been watching videos on teachers who hook up with their students. Yeah. Just curious what your opinion is on it and why they do it, and if it's wrong for a teacher to hook up with a student over the age of consent. Human beings, human behavior. Age of consent is something human beings invented. Doesn't mean it makes any sense, especially when it's 18. I've done entire articles on age of consent. Why is 18 the age of consent? People just pulled that out of their assholes. Doesn't mean anything. So if a teacher, man or woman, doesn't matter, is attracted to someone who's 17 and the teacher's 22, yeah, they fuck. Now, what's interesting is today it's a horrible thing. When I was in school back in the 80s, this happened all the time and no one gave a shit. Teachers fucked students at the high school I went to. And my ex-wife went to. I mean, that's what happened. Especially dance teachers fucking the 16-year-old girls. It happened. It didn't happen all the fucking time left and right, but it happened and no one, like, yeah. We're much more puritanical now, especially Americans and Canadians. Are there any movies that accurately and positively depict non-monogamous relationships? No, there are not any that I can think of. The few movies that are out there that depict non-monogamous relationships are clusterfuck movies. There's high drama. The one that some guys referred to back in the Pick and Bar days was Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Non-monogamous movie, but it's nonstop drama. People are screaming at each other. It's awful. And that's not Alpha 2.0. Regarding step 17, I have no friends and haven't for years, okay? Probably close to a decade. What's wrong with being a lone wolf here? Well, what is step 17? Tie into emotional support, family members, or a coach or a therapist. Have a hard time understanding why an attractive woman would even be on a dating site. What? You don't understand women. when she'd likely have plenty of orbiters options in real life to choose from if she's already dating one of them? No. Ask any hot girl. I know a lot of hot girls. Hey, hot girl, do you have lots of really great, attractive alpha male guys that you really attract to in your personal day-to-day life when you go to work at the office? She's like, no. I need to cultivate more male friendships. Okay. Limiting belief. I'm on my second marriage. Ugh. Sorry for you. Are you the same guy? You're the same monogamy guy. It was easy to explain. I'm 1x divorced on dates with FBs. For some reason, I think I'm twice divorced with kids will get me rejected. Load a minute. It will not. It will not. If I divorced Pink Firefly, I'd be divorced twice. Not one woman would give a fuck. Women do not care about that. This stream is going to need the bookmarks. I need to review this closely. I do not bookmark my stream. I've talked about mine many times. My friend said it is better to give a lump sum versus alimony. Just be done with her, i.e. pay her out so she can go away and you'll owe her a thing. That is generally true, but often men can't afford it. So if you can afford it, I generally agree with that advice. Pay her a lump sum, get her the fuck out of your face. Agree. A lot of men can't do that. Here's what I did. I did a variation of this. I gave her monthly alimony for a few years, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, I forget. And then I went to her. I'll tell this quick story. Do we have time? Let me check my schedule. Yeah, I got time to tell this. All right, I'm going to tell you a real quick story. This is what I did. This is a thought for some of you who are paying alimony. So some of you currently are divorced paying alimony. You can't do this with child support. You do this with alimony. I looked at how much I owed her for the next 10 years, whatever the fuck it was, and I added up all the amount of monthly alimony check times 12 months times X number of years, and I got this total amount, okay? So what I did is I invited her for lunch, which I hadn't done in years. We don't even talk. This is a long time ago. I said, let's have lunch. Let's discuss, Alyssa's healthcare or something. And let's discuss a deal with your alimony. And she agreed to do it. Went out to lunch. Cheap little restaurant. It's my ex-wife. This is 4 years after I got divorced. 4, I think. And I said, here's the deal. I owe you, if I pay you alimony for the rest of the, you're going to get X, this big fucking number. I will take you to the bank right now, and I will cut you a check. Oh, no, do I already have the check? I already had the check cut. I owe you X. Let's say it was $100,000. It wasn't, okay? Let's say $100,000. You'll get $100,000 over the next 13 years. Maybe. What if I go out of business? What if I go bankrupt? What if there's an economic crash? Because that was happening all over the place back then. So maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. Or you could take this check right now for, let's say, $40,000. It wasn't $40,000, but it was like 40% of the amount. You can take this check for $40,000 and sign this form, and we're done. You can take this lump sum right now, 40 grand right now, baby. Go buy yourself a house and throw a big party. And you never need to dick with me ever again. Or you can rely on me for the next 12 years and maybe you'll get your money and maybe you won't. And her eyes, when she saw that check, went, boing. And she's like, and she agreed to it. She signed the form, handed her check, got the fuck out of there, paid off my alimony. 60% deduction off my alimony. And this was pre-Donald Trump when alimony was tax deductible. Thanks to fucking Donald Trump, you American men can't write off your alimony anymore. So guess what I did? This is pre-Trump. That $40,000, it wasn't $40,000, wrote that off on my taxes. I paid 0 taxes for the year because I got this giant deduction for the year. So not only did I pay off my alimony, I paid 0 taxes that year. Awesome on awesome. Can't do that now because you idiots elected Trump and he made alimony taxable. So there you go. Is pair bonding through orgasm false? No, it's temporary. If not, how do we expect a woman in an OLTR to only pair bond with us if she's having sex and orgasming with other men? So it's not false, it's temporary. The same chemicals that cause the pair bonding during orgasm are the same chemicals that cause women to get bored of the man. So if she's orgasming with an FB, eventually she'll get bored of that FB. And women get bored of FBs all the fucking time. I have had many long-term relationships with women who are fucking other men and they stuck with me anyway. And the other men they dump them. Many. By the way, I've been Pink Firefly a long time. Today, she doesn't hook up with other guys. But we were dating casually and semi-serious for a long... There was other things going on in her life besides me. She didn't leave me. She left them. Have you gotten jealous of other men in regards to women? Not really. I was a little jealous when I first started this process 17 years ago when I was new, but no, men are not my threat. No man threatens me. Men have the woman life I have, the financial life I have, the confidence I have, and the outcome independence I have. How many men? Yeah. So if a woman is fucking another guy, a woman might fuck another guy, is he anywhere near me? No. I've talked about this. HBM, my girlfriend before, Pink Firefly, would hook up with ripped black guys with six-pack abs. Wasn't threatened at all. These were young guys with no money, were super needy, outcome independent. They were like blowing her up the phone. I love you. Meet my parents. And hilarious. Are these a threat to me? No. Doesn't matter if they have six-pack abs and I don't. If sex and money are the wheels of the motorcycle for a man, what do you think are the two things for women? Very complicated answer. Not something I can summarize. There is no two things for a woman. It's 27,000 things when you're a girl. That's probably a woman. Excellent point about being too attached to some ultra hot young chicks after divorce. Happened to me in 2021 and 22. Happens to everybody. Happens to most men. Men are very stupid about this. They get super excited. They fall in love. They get feelings. Unfortunately, some random events in my life helped me to remain unattached. Good. I'm taking a trip to Nashville. Any tips on doing game? And what kind of game? Online. If it's online dating, a week before, you line up dates. If it's day game and night game, find all the cool spots and go. You've collaborated with Lucario in the past. Yeah. Can you tell us more about where you two differ in terms or disagree in terms of gaming women? Not in terms of gaming women, we agree. In terms of relationships, his model is different. He has a wife and he has a girlfriend who I also met. She's really cool. So he doesn't follow the OLTR model. He has a wife and a girlfriend. Now, he has some drama because of that. Again, it's a different model. Not a lot. Lucario's awesome. Other than that, we're pretty simpatico. Is it okay to call an MLTR your girlfriend if she never pushes for the talk and it's been a year? If you upgrade her to high-end MLTR and she's long-term tested after a year, it's okay if you're careful. I did it with HPM. It's okay if you're careful. High-end MLTR. You only want one of them. Why women don't tell you they have during cold approach when they have what? Why women don't tell you they have during cold approach when they have one steam woman they like it. You need to rewrite your question and learn how to speak English. Sorry, I don't understand your question. I did get asked, do you think fast sex is necessary to get to know someone last week? But I take it's not common. Yeah, you'll never be asked that again by a woman. To be fair, I probably talk too much about sex. Oh. What would be a good answer, though? The answer would be no, I don't think it's necessary. If you're talking to a woman on a date, no, I don't think it's necessary. Then I also say, not on a first date, but the attitude is, I'm also not going to wait 17 days. I'm not going to wait. That's stupid. Thoughts on NLP? Love it. I think it's very effective. How to break up with a single mother that she's in love with me. The same way you break up with any girl, you just end it. You just end it. You're a wonderful person. I want you to pursue your highest good. You can't do that with me. Love you. Goodbye. And she goes, then you block her number. I wrote an apology message to the girl I said nasty things to the other day following the breakup. Okay. An apology message? Okay, that's fine. I mean, it may sound beta, but I do own up and when I've done something wrong, she hasn't responded anyway. You'll probably never see her again. Fuck new girls. There's millions of women in your city. What if I offered my wife a lump sum to buy her out and for her to move out? That is a guy logical construct. That's not how women think. She'll scream at you and throw pots and pans at your face. You can do that if you were married to a man. If you were married to a heterosexual man, a lot of these guy logical techniques, well, what if I gave her money and I explained to her, no, that doesn't work on girls. That would work if you're married to a heterosexual man. You're not married to a heterosexual, you're married to a girl. What resources do you recommend for learning referral game? There's only one, me, I'm the only one who does it. I have an online course for it, mini course, referral game. It's like being successful at referral game. Go to store.calebjones.com. And I also talk about it in the Ultimate Younger Woman Manual and the Ultimate Younger Woman course. And I believe I have a podcast on it. I think I do if you look around. Other than that, that's it. I'm the only person talking about referral game. I coined the phrase. I want to have a house in Mexico and would probably want to fly girls in from other countries I meet on Instagram and dating apps. Do you think that would work out well? If you can easily afford that, I know guys who do that. That's not my model, but that would be fine. If you can easily afford it. Let me say that again, easily afford it. And those aren't FBs because you're not going to see them regularly. You're going to fuck them for a week and then fly them home and never see them again. That's not my thing. I like ongoing relationships, but you can do that, sure, if you can easily afford it. Hi, Caleb. Can't wait for the day I finally sign up for the 90 Business Builder, maybe next year after I bank from trading in upcoming crypto bull run. You're hoping for a lot of things that may not happen. Thanks for offering these services with installment plans. You're welcome. What's your favorite Kevin Smith movie? It's going to be one of the old ones. The new ones are terrible. Boy, that's a good question. I like Dogma. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back made me laugh a lot when I saw it. That scene with the monkey, and that was pretty funny. Chasing Amy is really good. I don't think I have a favorite. Those are probably the top three. Dogma, Chasing Amy, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Kevin Smith is just like George Lucas and just like Howard Stern. Kevin Smith has become what he spent years making fun of. It's very sad what happened to him. The 1990s, early 2000s Kevin Smith would beat the shit out of the modern day Kevin Smith. Would beat the shit out of him and be embarrassed. It's really, Kevin Smith is a sad story. Perfectly nice person. Nothing against him, but he has become the corporate shill. Yeah, it's sad. How would you recommend specifically reattracting a listen fitty that was my first one and messed up by trying too hard to keep her from leaving, and now it's been 3 years since we last spoke? No difference in the model? Send her a text. How's it going? That's it. Converting to an OLTR. If you think OLTR is into you banging other girls, if you think your OLTR is into you banging other girls, very few women will be like that. They won't like it, but there's rare ones that might do. Do you try your convert by having it be her idea? And then no. You're all over the place. Get my conversion course and do what it says. If medical advances do occur and make both me and women young and physically, that will happen and probably happen in our lifetimes. Yes, that will probably happen. Will the 33 women still be similar in their approach to dating? Will it change? I can't make predictions on how women will be 70, 50 years in the future with AI and sex robots. The entire thing's going to change. Sex robots is going to change everything. I've said this many times. I'm happy to say it again. When viable sex robots, and viable means your dick doesn't care. Your eyes and your brain may say that's a robot, but your dick's like, I'll fuck it. So that's what viable means. When viable sex robots become viable enough to fuck and they move and act like a woman, number one. Number two, they are easily affordable or rentable by the average income man. There will be a massive shift in power from women to men. Right now, women have the dating power. The power will shift back to men, which has never been since the early 1960s. And women are going to lose their minds. Unless by then women have stopped having sex, which is also possible. So it's hard to predict these things. One of my 20-year-old college friends had a baby with a 60-year-old bald professor. Yeah, I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Yeah, man. She cried once saying he took advantage of the situation. Poor girl. She's 20 years old. She's full of shit. He didn't take advantage of anything. Guy's a bastard for doing that to her without protection. I also agree with that. He's a bastard and she's a liar. Yep. Frankly, can't see how such a person keeps a job at the same college. Happens all the time. All the time. This you cannot stop human behavior. That's why I said you can't have women serving the military on the front lines or in submarines. They all get pregnant. You can't stop human behavior. You can't say this age is bad to have sex, so don't do it. And everyone goes, okay. No, they'll still fuck. I know girls who were fucking dudes at age 13 and 14. You can't stop human behavior. Doesn't matter if you think it's gross. It doesn't matter. Biology always wins. As I said in my books, biology always ends up winning. You can't stop biology until we become, superhuman with cyborg shit. That's different. Question for business and networking. Should I wear elevator shoes that add 2.75 inches? That's a lot. Just for a more commanding appearance, I'm 5'7". I wouldn't go 3 inches. You could. 1 or 2 inches is plenty. If a girl tries to let's just befriend me, I respond with, I see no bullshit. I see no benefit in being your friend. Is this too blunt, harsh? No, it's guy logical, so it won't help. Just say, okay, I'm not into that. Thank you, bye, and leave. Don't say, I see no benefit in me being your. That is guy logic. That'll go in one ear and out the other because you're talking to a girl. Why did your 5.5-year OLTR relationship end before PF? The main reason was drama. We went on a trip to Canada. Where did we go? Canada. We were there for 3 or 4 days. She gave me drama the whole time. And she knew I don't do that. I don't play that. I'll get her where she still give me drama. I said, all right. That's the main reason. A side reason, another reason, she wanted to have kids, and I was giving her the feelers that I didn't want to have kids. So that's another second. That wasn't the main reason, but it was secondary. And what did she do? I've talked about this. Within a year, she got a boyfriend, beta male boyfriend, who looked a lot like me, immediately married him, had kids with him. They're still married today. And yes, she came back. I fucked her several times. She cheated on him. Yes. I have a 94% return rate. Monogamy doesn't work. Haven't seen her in many years, though. Advice for Indian men dating the West. Read my article at the alphamale20.com blog on how Indian men can date Western women. I have a whole article about that. There's been a huge wave of dislike of Indian men on the internet lately. Well, Indian men bring it on themselves. Read my article, which I've noticed has affected my results with hot white Latino women. Read that article. Indian men have the worst sexual societal programming of any culture in the world. It's worse even than Arabic men. It's bad. So your job as an Indian man, here's the summary, is to get rid of that bullshit in your head about sex and women and dating and marriage, because you got a lot of it. When you clean that out, I have men in my audience who are Indian guys who look Indian and have an Indian accent who fuck tons of white girls. They clean up, but they had to work on themselves internally first. Critical. All right, a few more questions, and then I got to go. For online dating as an older man, do you recommend having a more edgy photo? No. Or should you have a more sweet and nice, non-threatening photo if you're talking to young women? No, neither. Neither. Cool photo, that's you. That's cool. Not edgy. Don't do spiky, greasy hair if you don't normally know. Okay, but don't do nice and beta either. Cool. When you are an older man dating a much younger woman, you want to act your age, but be the coolest guy of your age she's ever met. So if you're 45 years old, you don't act like a 35-year-old or a 20-year-old or a 20 or a 30-year-old. A lot of guys do this. You don't dress like a younger man. You don't have your hairstyle like a younger man. I don't do that, do I? Okay? You act like a 45-year-old guy, but you're the coolest 45-year-old she's ever met. I'm 52. I look and act 52 with all of my girls, even if they're 18. All of them. But I'm the awesomest 52-year-old dude she's ever fucking met in her life. I'm an alpha male 2.0 52-year-old. That's in real life. That's in your dating profile. That's everything. My wife has a huge desire to watch me bang other girls. So does mine. We do it all the time. It's her turn on. She wants me to find a girl. Okay? Are you the same guy? Do I let her do this before converting? No, convert first. Convert first. Convert right now and throw that in there. Hey, I can fuck other girls and we can bring them home. You can watch me. It'd be great. What is the number one greatest life lesson you have learned? I don't know. I have to think about that. I've learned a lot of great life lessons. I don't know. Don't know. Answer that question. It's an interesting question. I'd have to think about it. For me, freedom is the most important thing. That's why I don't get monogamously married. That's why I don't get monogamous. That's why I don't rely on any one country like the United States, most of you idiots. Okay? Or UK. I don't rely on any one country. That's why I have my own business. I don't have a 9-to-5 job like most of you guys. I don't want a job. That's not freedom. I can never get a job. I can never rely on one country. I want freedom. The more free you are, the happier you'll be long-term as a man, the vast majority of men. What if she broke up with me because I truly wasn't committed, no contact? I don't know what you're referring to. If you're trying to resurrect a girl, none of that matters. Regarding acting your age, I have an awesome t-shirt with Audrey Hepburn on it that's form-fitting and shows off muscle. What the fuck? That might be considered immature, but I get a lot of attention wearing it. Just because it gets attention doesn't mean it'll help you bang hot girls. Okay, I could do a lot of things to go out on the street and get a lot of attention. Would that help me bang hot young girls? Not necessarily. This is what Gunwich, those you remember him, used to talk about. The goal is to get laid, not liked. And most guys do this attention getting stuff and be silly and funny and do magic tricks because they get girls like it, but they don't fuck that guy. They don't fuck the class clown. I've said this many times. Do girls fuck the class clown at the party? No. Do they fuck the good-looking jock in the front of the room? Some of them do. You know who, and this is tried and true since the 70s, okay? I experienced this many times as a beta and alpha male. Who is the guy who's banging all the girls? It's the quiet, cool guy in the back of the room. He's the one who's already fucked 3 or 4 of the girls in the room. In the party, in the classroom, that's the guy. It's not the silly, funny guy who's getting all the attention wearing the funny t-shirt. It's not the class. He's not getting laid at all. The jock in the front of the room, this goes back to high school, but it also relates to parties, social circles. This is always true. The cool, good-looking, blonde-haired jock with the awesome body wearing the Leatherman jacket in the front of the room, he's fucking one girl. He's dating one of the cute girls, one of them. Okay? The alpha male who's banging all the hot chicks in the room is the cool, quiet guy with a cool jacket, quiet, chill out in the back room talking to 2 or 3 people. That's the guy. That's the guy you want to be. This is like the classic Sigma male thing, right? Okay. All right. Boy, this has been a long one. I will see you guys next week. I always do live streams Monday, 1 p.m. EST. They are also podcasts. If you want to do the audio version, you can go for the Alpha Male 2.0. It's alphamale20.com/podcast. Or the Unchained CEO one is at calebjones.com/podcast. I will see you guys Monday. Have fun.